Today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by Rocket Money, Solo Stove, AG1, and Aura Frames, A-U-R-A Frames, Aura. Welcome to the Nateland podcast.
Hello, folks. Hey, Bear.
I was going to say it.
Give him a second, Brian. Let him.
Why did you think I wasn't going to say it?
Because you always start with that.
Oh,
You gave him about.
I was going to do it after. I would have done it. Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. Welcome to the Nateland podcast. Yeah, I was going to say it after the Aurora, and then. But I was going to say it after.
All right.
So I would have got it in there.
I apologize.
Yeah.
We're off to the races.
Really jumped the gun.
Hey, man, everybody's getting involved. You know?
Well, I figure everybody else was saying a thing.
Yeah.
I might as well jump
we're
in here too.
everybody.
You know what I mean?
You know who's here. Bates,
All right.
Aaron Weber, Dusty Slay.
All right.
People don't like me doing that.
Do they not?
Nah.
They're real mad
Who?
about it, huh?
Trying to steal Dusty's essence.
Stolen valor.
By doing
Yeah.
that.
Stolen valor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
Well, the two of you have de facto copyrighted so many things on stage that there's so few things I can do now. I
Yeah.
can't put my hand behind my back.
Oh,
Everybody thinks I'm ripping off Nate. No, you haven't copyrighted anything. But
Yeah, I thought you were talking about them two too.
no,
wow,
no.
thank
I'm
you,
talking
Aaron.
about
I was
Nate
like,
and Dusty.
all right.
Thank you so much.
Space-
Well, I
Yeah.
get told every day you're ripping off Brian Bates on
Yeah.
stage.
Everybody knows I invented waving and saying we're having a good time.
And we're having a good time
I know.
is a more common phrase than people realize.
It really
Sometimes
is.
you want to say that,
I know.
and they think I'm ripping you off.
It is fun that people think I invented saying
And they
that.
think Nate invented putting his hand behind his
I
back.
did invent it.
Yeah. Feels good.
I was the first to ever do it.
Yeah.
Shane puts his hand behind his back too. Shane Gillis.
I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, he will too. I think he said he was told me. I think it's because I did it, but you just end up seeing something. That's that you just do. I don't think it matters if you have your hand.
That's
behind
why
back,
I
it's
do
like,
this
whatever.
completely the opposite.
Yeah,
He puts it low behind his back. I'm up high and
Yeah.
in front.
yeah.
Completely the opposite.
What does that leave me to do?
You got to come in the middle. You got to do something about right here. You got to do this.
Mm.
Yeah, just leave the hand right there.
Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
Well, it's I did it. I think I did it to keep my hands out of my pockets or out of my front pocket, and that's what it started from. And then
Why do you not want it in the pockets? You just didn't like the look of that or the feel
I'm not
of
saying it'll be in the pockets. Like if I have a hoodie on stage, I can put it in the
it?
pockets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking a little bit more about how you stand on stage recently. Like just have it. I tend to want to put this hand in my pocket. I want to put this hand somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just went behind my back, and and even that last special, it's like the jeans I had, the pockets were sewed shut.
Really? They're fake
Yeah.
pockets?
Yeah, and I didn't realize. Yeah, because I didn't realize that they did that. And then, in the special, I just go, "Phew," and I hit my hand on it, and I go, well, she sewed those pockets up.
I was told that Jeff Allen once sewed shut his coat pockets on his coat jacket because he didn't want to put his hands
Yeah.
in there, so he sewed it shut.
Yeah,
I like to just move my hands all around in a real distracting manner. That's what I.
well,
like
it depends
to
on
do.
how you're. Yeah, it depends on like what what's going on, where you're standing. Like when I was in the round on the last one, it's like I'm moving a lot more, so it just feels it feels better.
I like to do everything that they tell you not to do as a comedian.
Yeah.
Like Ralphie May would say, don't wear a hat, don't have glasses, don't have a beard.
Or long hair.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
I think so. I didn't hear it. People tell me he said it.
Don't have a hat. Don't wear glasses. Don't have a beard.
Yeah.
Well,
Or long hair.
Everybody has a beard now.
Yeah.
Well, he said there's all kinds of studies that show that your trustworthiness increases the less distractions there are in your face. That's why politicians typically don't have beards, is that you tend to trust somebody more who just has a clear
I
face.
can see that.
I don't want them to trust me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's you're selling. Yeah, you're selling something different.
Yeah. Yeah. Untrustworthiness.
Yeah,
You don't know how this show's going to go.
yeah,
Buy a ticket. Hopefully it goes well.
yeah. They don't know if you take all that off when you get home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I'd like to do. One day when I do shave and cut my hair, I'd like to do a show and then just kind of take it off mid-stage, mid-show. Just go, you know what? I'm tired of wearing this.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Pull it off.
Yeah.
Pull off a whole mask and I'd be Brian Bates. That's what we should do.
Yeah. And then you go, oh, that's why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting jealous of his own creation.
Yeah.
I mean, the very first comment on here is basically kind of what we're talking about, which we'll get to. But
yeah. Well, glad everybody's here. I went to the National Comedy Center in Jamestown, New York this weekend. Because we were in Cleveland, Erie, Pennsylvania. Wonderful times there. And this center is awesome. It's awesome. It's really, you can do a lot of stuff, and they just have so much stuff like interactive there that you can go do and learn about comedy and learn about, TV shows. And they have TV shows, they have movies. You can do Who's on First. I was able to film a video. I think I might have had it. Maybe I could show it. But it's like I just stand. I sit there and they take your picture and then it's like AI. Like it looks like you're standing with, Abbott and Costello. Which one's
that's
who's Abbott?
awesome.
The big guys who are. I don't remember which one's which.
I don't know.
the tall one's Abbott.
Yeah, okay, Costello. So you're Costello, and then you just read the lines.
That's
but I mean,
awesome.
it looks like you're just faces in there.
Oh,
It's
that's
crazy.
fun.
Yeah, and so it was. It was just really cool experience.
Do they have a Hall of Fame? Is it like you can get inducted into this? Or how
No,
does it work?
that thing was the best too. You can get on stage. We have some video of all this, but you can get on stage and like I did a Seinfeld joke, and so I did his Halloween joke, about trick or treating. What do kids? First time you hear about it,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Your
like
brain
what?
can't
Who's giving brain candy?
Yeah.
Who's giving money? Everyone's giving candy. So then you go on stage with a microphone that works, and then it's like karaoke but stand up.
Oh, that's
so then
cool.
it's going like, all right, and it lights and shows you when to say it and stuff, and then so people can go in there and just try to tell one of the jokes, and it was super cool. That was very cool, and then they have Caroline's on Broadway in New York. They have the backdrop of Caroline's.
Oh yeah,
and the wall. So Caroline's like, you did Caroline's?
I did.
Y'all didn't?
No.
Did you ever go in there or
No.
anything?
It's an iconic backdrop, though.
Yes.
I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, and it's the. See if you can pull it up.
Yeah.
I saw a photo of all you guys with it behind you, and I thought, how did y'all? I didn't realize that's where that was.
Where was the photo? Oh,
Michael Clay
yeah.
posted it.
Oh yeah. I don't know if they're gonna have. You can just do the Carolines.
Oh yeah, just to see what it looks like. Well, that's the logo right there. But,
yeah, because they would have just got it because the Carolines shut down, and that club it was that back. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's really really crazy when you see it, and like I didn't know they had that, and so it's me, Vecchione, Lachlan Patterson was with us, who's very very funny, great dude, great comedian. And Lachlan he's did Carolines, but he was in LA. So, but me, Julian McCullough, Mike Vecchione, Gary Veter, and so we all turned the corner. We all were started there, so none of us know that this is in there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not like they knew that but they didn't. No one really thought of it, and we just turned a corner, and it's like the four of us are like, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Like we stood against that wall for years. When I was standing in line, and we spent the night for Last Comic Standing once. Stayed out all night, spent the night, go down there, get told no, leave. So, I mean, just the contest, they had the March Madness contest. Julian won the first one the first year. I won the second year. I think
You hosted it 1 year.
I hosted it 1 year. Veter won it, I think, 1 year. Mike Vecchione came in second place. We brought that up quite a bit.
Yeah.
In the Jerry Seinfeld comedian,
It's
he's in
I
there.
would have liked to have done that club.
Oh, yeah,
I
there it
never
is.
even went.
It's well, you can go stand there and like, cause you would, if you leaned against the wall, you could put your hand, like guys would grab. You'd always like grab the kind of back of the wall. There's like a place where there's a hole because the wall's white. I mean, I was really like they had bar stools in there from there. They had like it's just
Oh, so it's the real background. They didn't just create
no,
it.
they gave it
took
to
it.
them
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
Caroline's closed, which was just
Why did they
heartbreaking.
close?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, New York, and I think it's in Times Square. I mean, it's the craziest spot for a club to be in.
Yeah.
And then New York's just become so, Times Square specifically probably is insane to try. It's a ping pong place now.
Oh, okay.
So they do you can play ping pong down there.
Oh, that's fun.
And they just get my whole upbringing. You just walk down there and they're like, "What's up? Ping pong."
Yeah, it's sad.
And you're like, "All
I
right."
saw you open for Bruce there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You say Bruce?
Did I emphasize the wrong Bruce?
Bruce. Yeah, yeah.
Bruce,
That's the
Bruce.
first Bruce.
Bruce.
There you go.
That's when
Bruce?
Yeah. That told that story, right? They called his name. I was in the green room and I was hosting, sold out, and I met him briefly, very nice. And then, I was a new comic, so I was just staying out of the way. And so then I do it, and then they go, or maybe I featured something. Mark Theobald might have hosted. And then Mark, goes, "Give it up for Bruce. And I've never seen this. He doesn't, like, I'm standing against the back wall, and he's not coming out of the green room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if he know. And and thankfully I did not, but I almost was about to be a joke. I was going to go, they called your name. But
I wish you would have done
yeah,
that.
it would
That's
have been fun. But I thought maybe he didn't hear it. And then it's like, no, there's music playing.
He's
and
letting the music get to a point. And
Yeah. Then he walks out and it's a whole, and you're like, okay.
I believe he had a guy in front of him and behind him.
Yeah. Security that he was bigger than.
Yeah. I opened for Dominique one time, and she would do that. I would announce her name, and my wife said that she saw Dominique was in the back of the room, like poured something in her drink, mixed it up, took her to. I had no idea. I'm like, Dominique, and then I'm just standing there. I'm like, what's going on here? And then she eventually makes her way to the stage.
Yeah,
she's very funny too. Bruce was one of my favorites, though. He's very funny.
Yeah,
very funny. I mean, would destroy. Well,
yeah.
That's when, I would learn a lot during that stuff, is because you learn that it's a show, and that's what it is. Like, it's that little extra build up, that little extra everything is part of the whole experience.
Yeah.
And so you're just, and then seeing him walk out to music, and then he sings the last song, the crowd sings the song, and you're like, yeah, dude, it's a pretty special thing. Like, and you're like, and then when you see it, you're back there like, oh, that was awesome. Like, oh, okay.
I used to watch him on Comic View all the time, and then when he came to Zany's, when I first moved here, I went and saw him at Zany's, and it was like, man, he just murders.
He kills hard.
Yeah, it is wild.
When I hosted for him, I could feel the room vibrating on my feet from the green room.
Yeah,
he was killing that hard.
Yeah.
I remember his feature. I brought her on stage, and then she walks out there and she goes, She goes, I came all the way from Cleveland. That's how you're gonna bring me out? What we're going to do is a redo. Aaron, get back out here. So I come back out to reintroduce her, and the crowd's like going nuts. So I give her a super over the top intro, and then she comes back out, and I was just started. So I was like, God, did I mess this up?
Yeah.
I was thinking that the whole show. And then she comes back. She's like, nah, I do that every show. It's like, well, let me know next time.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about myself the whole time. But man,
did she do it again in another show?
Yeah. All 6 shows that weekend.
So you would then start playing into it?
Yes. I would give her a purposefully bad intro the first time because I knew I would have to do it again.
Yeah.
You're a great guy for that, though, because you can turn it up. If that's me, I'm like, I don't know how to bring you up a different way.
Young, I'd been like, I would have went back out and been like, this is the energy I have.
Yeah.
This is all I got.
I don't know what you want to do.
Yeah.
That would be tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'd be like, well, I wasn't really prepped that we'd be doing 2 intros
Oh,
here.
dude! By the end of it, I was Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Well, see,
Are you ready?
yeah, so you're
Like,
the perfect
crazy.
guy for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That worked out. Yeah, it's talking about murder. Like, it's like that's what's so wonderful about comedies. Like, just in a room and just people not being able to breathe because they're
Yeah.
laughing. So, like, there is not there really isn't. I don't think there's anything better than that because it's the most honest. They don't want to be doing that. That's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they want to laugh, but when you can really get the crowd going, they're past the point of going like, I don't want to be laughing.
It's an involuntary reflex.
Yeah.
That Aaron sent me some video. It's a lady and she's going out and she's like pulling drinks out of her shirt and she's got a glass
That's
in
from
there.
Def Jam. Yeah.
And it is like, I've never seen people laugh so hard in my life.
Yeah.
Like, how would you even follow your own opening joke?
You got to do a set after that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's tough to go from that and be like, well, I was in the Home Depot the other day.
Yeah. You got to start with whatever you start with is like got to be you got to kind of ride that through.
Yeah.
And make sure you're able to sustain that.
Yeah.
Short sets, you could do it. Long sets are a little bit.
You got to do an hour after that.
Yeah.
I think we've all seen comics, though, that have hit a prop on them the whole set, and at the very end they pull it out. And you're like, you hit that the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
That was not worth it.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Killian, that we all know, he famously had a closer where he would pull a rose out of his pants at the end of the show that he had in there the whole show. I mean, I've worked the road with Chris all over the place. That would murder for him every time. I mean, he might not even have the best set the whole time, but at the end,
it didn't matter because the end
would murder. I mean, he had a little dance that he did, and it was like every time. I mean, I watched these hotel conference room comedy shows we would do, and I mean, he would just
He'd bring a guy on stage and dance around him.
Yeah.
I worked with him too.
Yeah,
it would destroy.
John Chris tells a story. I don't think he'd mind me saying this, but Chris Killian opened for him once, buried it just with that closer. Buried him so hard. And there was no green room. So John went to the bathroom and he sat in the bathroom after the show just so he wouldn't have to see people. And just one by one, he'd hear people walk in and go, man, that last guy stunk. He's in the stall. You can hear him all. I love that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that closer that he had, I mean, it was a killer.
So the Comedy Center is Jamestown, New York, is where Lucille Ball is from. And it's very new. It's it's like 5 years, I think. They had the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival. I did their first one, 2011, or when it was the 100-year. Lucille Ball would have been 100 years old when I did it. And so, because they were going to make a thing about her there, and then she's like, well, you should make it about all of comedy. And so it's, there's Carl Reiner stuff. They have, Mel Brooks. They have a lot of that stuff. They have some Seinfeld stuff. But I mean, how much they show a stand-up, it's really, really, really interactive. Like just some fun little things. And they have like a blue room downstairs, which I thought was kind of cool. It's like, because you want families in there and stuff. But the art to the dirty joke. They have, if you're not old enough, your wristband, you use a wristband to open the thing. Your wristband wouldn't open the door. So if a kid tried to go down there alone, a parent can take a kid down there.
Yeah.
But it's like, then once you go down there, it's its own like kind of thing with more George Carlin stuff and the roast and all that kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
But George Carlin's scroll of euphemisms here. That's really cool.
Well, the cool thing too was like for us comedians, and I'd imagine for, I'm sure everybody, but you could see the notes of like Dangerfield, like one of his like notes and set list.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so you're seeing them that you're like, oh, they wrote their, like, I write a set list out. They also write a set list out. And so they wrote, he wrote, hey, how's everybody doing? And he parentheses 2 times. So say it twice. Like that exact.
Wow.
which I never did that. But it's how you doing? How you doing? But his act, when you see it now, you're like, yeah, it's a rhythm based. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, I bet that gets him those first. He probably needs those 2 lines to get into his rhythm, and you get into his rhythm. Is what I would imagine. And that's why you're like, go up there, say it. How you doing, folks? How you doing, folks? The other day, and then you're into that, and that's like what you got to do to get them in, But it was interesting to see. Yeah. Carlin's, he had some of his sets there, and it's just, these guys wrote all this stuff out, and it's just like, in your head, you don't know what they were doing back then, but it's like, no, they were prepared. They were.
Any of your stuff in there?
No. I have a video. I was in a couple video interviews.
We always think
I did
about
an interview for them. Though.
They have one of your puka shell necklaces.
Yeah, yeah. I left my
We think about these guys.
I left the hat on accident, and I was like, I'll just see what happens. Yeah. I just walked out. I go, oh, dropped my hat. Hope it's hanging up in there somewhere.
Yeah. They mail it to you.
Yeah,
you left your hat here.
Yeah, I go, y'all could have kept it. Like, this is a hat Nate wore when he came to visit, and they're like, what?
Yeah,
it's not. No one wants that. I think I could. I'll probably give them stuff if they. We'll see. I didn't have anything in there. I don't have anything in there. It's all the guys that have been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you would definitely eventually, hopefully if it continues, give them stuff. It'd be a lot of Seinfeld. I mean, it's very, very cool. Like stand up. That's why in the interview I talked. Like stand up is becoming its own thing. It's a much more mainstream thing than it ever has been. So something like this is people are going to want to go see it, and they're going to want to go, and see, and actually get to see how hard, not to ever act like we do something hard, but how exact comedy can be.
James Gregory always said that there's more people that do brain surgery than do stand-up comedy for a living. And I don't know if that's true, but
sounds good.
It may be.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I'll counter with that. There are way more bad comedians than there are bad brain surgeons, I'd say. I've seen a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, because anybody can be a bad comedian.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, I think that's what it is. He's saying like that. Do this well, professionally.
Right.
More brain surgeons.
To do it professionally, there's like a level, and it's the amount of years where someone has to be. And that is a special.
Yeah.
That's like to
bad brain surgeon kills somebody.
Yeah, you can't just, there's not like open mic brain surgery,
Yeah. I think when you're on the
show up, go up.
Yeah. You don't just update your Facebook profile to be brain surgeon.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I think you go from nothing to Madison Square Garden and brain surgery.
Yeah.
There's no build up,
Not even a Radio City in the middle. Nothing.
Yeah, they let you give it a go on Bates. They go. Like when he's 94, they go, all right, we got a guy he's like, I'll do it. I'll let you mess around in there.
The open mic of
the open mic. Yeah. Maybe they do. Maybe they have, maybe there's
just a guy, John Smith, brain surgeon, Facebook page.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't even done surgery yet. You're already calling yourself a brain surgeon?
Maybe there are people who are hard up for brain surgery. They're like, I'll let anybody try.
When you go do the $5 haircuts.
Yes.
Maybe they do that. Maybe you go, yeah, I mean, I'll give it a go.
$5 brain surgery.
Yeah.
It might be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just for the practice.
That's right.
Where you go? Do you remember what you were going to say?
Well, I was going to say about, you're talking about set list of people doing it. It's like you always think of these people as like legends and like Rodney Dangerfield, but it's like at some point, they were real nervous about doing a comedy show. They were like, he has these famous Johnny Carson things where he's sitting on there and it's like, but probably, that was worked out a bit and probably Rodney Dangerfield was nervous doing that. Now we watch it and we go, this guy's amazing. And he is, but he was probably nervous before he went out there.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, no respect. And it's probably because he probably was not getting a lot of respect for a long time.
Well, he wasn't. I mean, he was 50, right?
Yeah.
So
he was on up there, yeah.
Yeah. That's his hero.
Yeah, yeah,
it is.
I mean, I
look
love
at
Rodney
Jelly Roll,
Dangerfield.
like, give me a break.
Yeah.
39?
Yeah. Jelly Roll, you got it too quick.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Where were you at?
I was in Little Rock, Arkansas, at the Studio Theater Saturday night. Great show. A lot of folks came out. Somebody brought me, I meant to bring it to you. I forgot a Ziploc bag of leaves to give you.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what people are bringing now.
Come on now.
Leaves.
Get me the leaves.
He's like, I brought you something. I'm all excited. What's it going to be? It's just a bag of leaves for you.
Maybe it's a new merch for you.
Yeah.
Sell Dusty's leaves after the show.
Or maybe a currency. You can pay for things with leaves.
Oh.
Are you still needing more?
Well, I don't need any more, but I'll take them.
Okay.
If people want to put their address. They live in Nashville and they want to put their address down. I'll come pick them up. I mean,
you might have too many people trying to get.
Yeah.
How many leaves can you have?
Well, when you mulch them down, if you run over them with a lawnmower, they really kind of go down to nothing. So you can use a lot. And I have 9 acres out in McMinnville that I can spread leaves out on. I'm all about it.
I would like this to get to a point where it's a problem. Though, where you have too many leaves.
Yeah. One day in this podcast, we go, all right, dead serious, everybody. I can take no more leaves. I go, I don't know how else to say this, but we're good on leaves.
I have had more success in the neighborhood, though. People are giving me the leaves.
Word's getting out.
Yeah. And so I'm not being like my neighbor next to me let me rake his leaves.
The one that didn't want you to?
No, a different guy.
Yeah.
And then my other neighbor, he said
how nice is that? He let you rake his leaves.
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, actually, he had really nice grass.
He had you tell him, and you had to say thank you.
Well, he said thank you to me too, but I was thankful that he gave me the leaves.
And so you're going to put them on 9 acres.
Well,
how often do you got to do this?
Well, they only come in the fall, so I just thought I got a lot out there. It's like in Tennessee we got a lot of hard clay, right? So it's not good for planting things. You gotta if you can build up a little topsoil, that helps. So that's what the leaves do. They break down over time.
So what do you think in 2064 you're plant a flower?
No, I think in a year you can do it. You can get a good layer going.
Now what's in your backyard in Hermitage? So what is that you want it to be? Wildfire?
Yeah, flowers? I got clover, wildflowers. I want it to be real bee friendly, rabbit friendly.
So you won't be mowing it at all.
Well, I'm going to do like the back half. A lot of wildflowers, So the front, I do want some lawn for my daughter to be able to run around and play in. But
she gets just a little. You think the rabbits get more than her?
Well, they could share some.
Yeah.
My daughter likes that too, though, because we get butterflies and we got bees and we got, she likes the rabbits. She chases the rabbits around. We got birds. I mean, it's fun. It's a good time out there. I'm going to try to put up the bat house tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's
going to be exciting.
Yeah,
that's a lot for the neighborhood.
Yeah, I've decided against.
Because I feel like in a neighborhood, you're like, I hope we don't have bats, and they're like, we got one guy that wants the bats to come. He's building them a home.
Well, people spray for mosquitoes. They spend all this money on pesticides for mosquitoes, and bats will just eat them.
Yeah. And they can give you rabies and do other stuff.
Yeah, but how often do you really hear about someone getting bit by a bat?
I don't think people are, because they're not attracting them to their homes.
I was going to say, I don't hear about people building houses for them in their backyard that often.
Well, there are, though.
Okay.
Have you seen someone have a bat house?
Well, my sister has one at her house.
because as we go down this one branch of tree of the Dusty Slade family, you go.
But I'm also, I'm not talking to a lot of people about it yet. So word's getting out. I'm sure people will message and let us know that they have bat houses.
Okay.
Does your HOA know about this?
No, but I mean, they're allowing chickens and stuff like that. It's like, if you're going to allow that, you got to let me have bats.
Yeah. We should go to this HOA meeting, and the chicken and everybody's got to vote. One of them's got to go.
Yeah.
And then you got to make your case for the bat.
Well, I decided against the owl house in the neighborhood because I was told they will kill chickens. So I didn't want to kill the neighbor's chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I would really love to have some owls. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Owls they get mosquitoes too?
No, they'll kill rodents and stuff.
Oh.
So
you could have both.
Yeah, that's
how big is this house?
It's not very big, and then the bat
it's like
house,
a bird box.
Yeah, but like a slightly bigger bird box.
Yeah.
And then the bat house is a real thin thing.
Yeah.
And I don't have the Because they say in a neighborhood, you're probably not going to attract a whole family of bats. So they got like what they call kind of a bachelor bat house where just some random bats can live, but not a whole family.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
You're getting the worst bats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting the ne'er-do-wells of the bat world.
Yeah. They can't even stick with the family.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. If it ends up being bad, I mean, I'll retract my statement.
Yeah. I hope you don't
get rid of the bat. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll come in here and I'll go, I was wrong.
Yeah.
No, you won't because you'll be dead.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the bat kills me,
Yeah.
You're only be able to do this podcast at night.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe I get superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be something, huh?
Well, anyway, I was in Little Rock.
Yeah.
Aaron?
I was across the border, man. I was in Edmonton, Alberta. I was in Canada all weekend. Very fun. I did 5 shows at the comic strip. They were 4 of them were great. And man, a lot of people came out. It was exciting to be in another country doing comedy. I was at that mall for 4 days. And I was going a little stir crazy by the end there.
What happened with the one?
Yeah.
Oh, one was just okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You went to Meet.
I did go to Meat, and
Yeah.
other people recommended Meat too.
Yeah.
And Meat
Yeah.
was pretty good.
It was great, wasn't it? Did you
Yeah,
do the thing that I was saying with the pickle and the mustard and the meat on each bite?
Oh yeah, they had all that set out there
Yeah.
on the table. Yeah. It was
it
a
was
really
good.
good spot. Edmonton. They make you think everybody's going to be speaking French in Canada. I know that that's the case other places, but Edmonton just felt like Iowa.
Yeah.
No.
Very
yeah.
blue
Well,
collar.
It's Montreal's where they're.
Yeah.
It's more that side.
But when you fly into Edmonton, they're
Because-
doing the
because-
announcements.
because half the country or the Montreal that side is
Quebec.
a lot of Quebec. That's
Right.
all French speaking.
And some people in Alberta speak it, but I'm
it's
not
a
running into it.
bilingual country. Everything has to be in
Yeah.
French.
I was
and
saying on
English.
stage, they did the announcements in English and French, and I looked around the plane. And I was like, I don't think you need to do.
Yeah.
You might need to do English twice,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't run into it at all. People were great. Thank you to everybody that
Just say,
came.
do one more French.
Yeah. Alberta is a real like ranching part of the country. Like I think they do a lot of that's where the Coulter Wall is from, that country singer. It's a
Oh, okay,
little
that makes
ranching
sense.
area, yeah.
I had
His
never
name is
heard
the Coulter Wall.
No,
Oh.
he's just Coulter Wall.
the Canadian
I added
accent.
I'm
in
like
the,
an old man with the Facebook.
Yeah.
the Facebook,
yeah.
the Kroger. The Canadian accent's crazy, dude. Like the people that really have it,
Mm.
it's wild. I met a guy from Saskatoon on the elevator.
Saskatoon.
And I could barely understand what he was saying. He was a
Yeah.
very friendly guy, but I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. Told me his whole life story. But
In the elevator?
yeah, he saw I had a bag with a sticker on it. He's like, "Oh, where you go to steal?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. I don't speak French.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's like their version of you's got to talk to his version of you, like whatever it's really the same version of the person talking.
Yeah,
But you're like, I don't know if this is going to go good. Y'all might be on the same ideas,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yeah.
your accents are going to be.
Wait, he had a
Gonna be-
French accent?
No. He just had a real thick Canadian
Oh,
accent.
okay. You see, I don't speak French. And I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just saying I didn't understand it
I got you.
as English.
I got you.
But anyway,
Yeah.
great weekend. Thank you to everybody that came.
Well, I did a theater show in Chattanooga at the Walker Theater.
All right.
Sold out. Was great.
All
A
right.
lot of fun. Saw some old friends in Chattanooga. Eric Lonez came out and hang out. A host of the Comedy Catch.
Eric Loans.
Eric Lones, yeah. And he came out, and then I did Bowling Green, theater in Bowling Green, the Sky Pack.
Yeah.
Was awesome, a lot of fun. I got a gift basket from a candle place, and I forgot the name of it, and I meant to talk about it. And a guy gave me this hat off his head.
Is that Nate on it?
It does look a bit like Nate
Yeah.
on it. I don't think it is though.
There's a chance I might have was supposed to get tickets for someone to that show for you.
Okay, well,
In Bowling Green?
Yeah, my buddy Patrick.
I hope he made it, but
I don't know if he did.
It was a great show. I did an
I
hour.
part of me, I was like, yeah, let me see. Like, because I've known Patrick since
I'll always
he
give you
started.
tickets.
And then I don't think I've ever got past that point. And now that I just picture Patrick standing outside, being like, no.
I'm friends with Nate.
Yeah.
Well, I did an hour and 25 minutes at that show.
Whoa.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm in the theater vibe
Yeah.
now. I could
Yeah.
easily be up there for 2 hours.
You let your opener do 3 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at. I want someone to just go out and bring me out.
What do you want to be there for 2 hours?
I mean, I get into it. I love it
Yeah.
out there. I probably should just, sell enough tickets to do 2 shows and that would satisfy it. But yeah, it feels good. I mean, I'm out there.
Yeah. What do you have? Just one opener?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Chattanooga, I got my old friend from Charleston, Vince Faber, to come and do a set too, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Have a buddy that kind of started comedy with me, but he doesn't really do comedy a ton now.
Yeah.
He's getting back into it, but like started comedy with me where we would work these road shows where no one would show up, and then we would split the money.
Yeah.
And now he's opening for me at a sold out theater
Yeah.
show. I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, get to show
Yeah.
them how much better you are.
Yeah. Who's that awesome for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
we know who for.
that's awesome for me, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I was thinking about him while I was saying it, but I guess it is just awesome for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gave him no money.
Yeah. I was like, hey.
You ain't split tonight.
Well, he might need to know about Rocket Money.
I think you might need to. Are subscriptions draining your wallet? Boy, I tell you, they're draining mine. The average person has around 12 paid subscriptions, which is 12 too many if you ask me. And they might not even remember subscribing to half of those. If you have no idea just how much money you're spending each month, you need Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. With Rocket Money, you can easily cancel the ones you don't want with just the press of a button. No more long hold times, annoying emails with customer service. Rocket Money does all the work for you. They can even negotiate to lower your bills for you by up to 20%. All you got to do is take a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. We've been using Rocket Money for a long time. They really are awesome. With over 5 million users and counting, Rocket Money has helped save its customers an average of $720 a year.
Wow.
And $1 billion in total savings so far. Like, you're an idiot for not using this.
Yeah, that's
Stop wasting money on things you can't and don't use. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Nate. That's rocketmoney.com/Nate. One more time, rocketmoney.com/Nate.
I wanted to say, though, at the Bowling Green show, we had a driver.
Still doing time.
I know, I can't stop.
Yeah.
We had a driver pick us up from the hotel and take us to the venue, and she was driving pretty wild.
Yeah.
And me and Alec Parent, the guy opening for me, we both got a little car sick on the way. I mean, I get vertigo and stuff now. I'm like, I could never do an amusement park. But he got real sick. And so he was supposed to do 25. He ended up doing 15. And he was like, I could see him on stage. He put his coat on. I mean, he was struggling. He's a pretty high energy guy, and he was real low energy. He was fumbling on his jokes, and he would look over at me and make eye contact, and I'd just be dying back there. I mean, I loved it. And he was struggling.
How long was the drive?
8 minutes.
Oh,
And
was
it did.
that
And it
aggressive?
did you that?
I mean, I got a little. I was like, oh gosh, what's going on
Yeah.
here? And then, but I was fine.
Were you sitting in the front?
Yeah,
Well, the front
yeah.
the front helps a lot.
I mean, I'm always a little sick in my stomach.
But if you're in the back, you can really get hit with some car sickness.
Yeah.
So you were. That makes sense because you were in the front.
Yeah.
But I would think.
He jumped out of the car. He goes, was that driving insane or what? And the woman's still standing right there. And I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll get inside to talk
Yeah.
about
Driving like a maniac.
Yeah.
Well, she probably was nervous because you jumped up front.
it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The whole thing was probably not a great vibe.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody was happy to get out of that car. This week, start out your comments. Dallas Owen. I spit out my coffee when Nate said breakfast looks like the character in a video game before you pick anything. If Bates is the character before you pick anything, then Dusty is the character after you pick one of everything. That is
Well,
very
that
true.
is true.
You get all the accessories.
Yeah.
Great
that's
point.
true.
Great point. Matt McNaughton. Matt. Man, that's
That's a lot. Yeah.
Matt McNaughton. That's a lot of stuff. Matt.
McNaughton is that's a
Yeah.
mouthful in itself.
If it was Matt Naughton, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
It's Matt McNaughton. So you got to be. I bet he's spent a lot of time in school where they go Matt.
Mhm.
And he just has to go here. They go, all right, it's fine. He's here. We had a cat run away once. A year later, someone put a missing cat poster up on our complex bulletin board. It was a picture of our cat. Someone else lost our cat too.
That's funny.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
I think you just gotta kind of let it go.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I get it.
That cat's
It
free.
just wants to be on the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bat house.
Yeah.
Cats wouldn't really. They don't go in families either.
No, I don't think so.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe you could put up a wild cat house, just see what comes.
I have trouble picturing your neighborhood. In my head, I picture my neighborhood when I was in Hermitage, but it was a cul-de-sac. It was,
Yeah, I'm in a cul-de-sac
sidewalk.
too.
Yes,
Yeah.
sidewalk.
No sidewalk in my
Okay.
cul-de-sac. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
The sidewalk ends
That's
before
all.
you. There is a sidewalk in the neighborhood, but it ends before you
That's
get to our
all.
cul-de-sac.
That says a lot.
We're a tight cul-de-sac, though. We're all buddies down there.
No. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the vibe of cul-de-sac that would allow chickens and bat houses and all the stuff
Yeah.
you got going on.
We don't encourage walkers down there.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. In my head, I'm picturing, a sidewalk neighborhood, but then what you're saying, I'm like, God, that just feels weird to fit in that sidewalk. But when you say there's no sidewalk, it's like
Right.
kind of like
I try to give people a dirty look when I know they don't live in the cul-de-sac, but yet they're driving down there. I try to
Mhm.
give them a dirty look, like, "What are you doing down here?"
Well, they're probably trying to see the wildlife you
Yeah.
got going on over
Yeah.
But they're kids.
there.
Yeah, I still do it though.
Yeah. You're like the Burbs,
Yeah,
that movie.
I go, "What's going
You
on?"
can guess
down
which part you are.
here?"
Patrick McCormick. Aaron shouldn't worry about the awkward Brad Paisley meeting. Who meets someone and ask, and what do you like to do? It's like asking, how have you been this year?
How have you been this year is kind of a good question. Really.
Yeah, I mean,
It's more of an honest question of when you see, the casual acquaintance you see, you go, how's the year been going? Oh, it's going great, man.
Yeah.
It actually would feel, it actually might be a nice thing to say to people. Because you got to be like, everybody's busy. You go, how's your year going so far? Year's going great. It's better than how's the day.
Yeah.
Who cares about the
The
day?
day's
It's like,
nothing.
nothing. This person might have just got me into asking people, well, how's your year been going? Which is a much more interesting question.
Well, he had a lot more that I cut out. I mean, he was saying basically that's a Santa Claus question, like, how have you been this year? How's your little brother?
Okay.
Yes,
But
which I get that
I like the idea
of
of you walking to a gas station, the cashier goes, "How you doing?" You go, "How's your year been?" That's funny to me, but I do like it.
But I mean, I think just for your acquaintances
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
are seeing would be a good
Like
thing.
if you see a comic at the airport or something,
Yeah,
you go, "How's
but
the year been?"
How's your year been? But it might even be a good question at a gas station. Like, how's your year been going?
how's
'Cause,
the
I mean,
year
even-
been? Is
Rob 3 times.
is a good question in like March, but in November, that's a weird question.
Might be tough.
Yeah, how's your year been? You mean the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then it's a better question, I think, because now you have more to reflect
Yeah.
on.
You then go, it's not been bad. I go, the beginning of the year is still slow. Summer, I went on a trip in summer, so that was nice, and
Yeah.
got Christmas. And then you're like, all right, you kind of almost can capture that person
Okay.
of who they are.
Yeah,
Now, if you catch the wrong person, it's like, it's been tough. How's your year been going? But they tend to like to tell you too.
yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
find a way to squeeze.
Yeah,
it in.
they want to just say it. They want to go, how's your year been? They're like, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
I've been walking around basically wanting people to ask me this. You get with that, just saying that, if the person can answer it, it would probably take a long time to get people used to that question. But if someone's like, how are your years, someone's like, how's my year been going? Yeah, it'd be insane. You'd be like, was the Bridgestone this year, SNL? It's been just wild. They go, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, you're the wrong person to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll really bring people
I'll tell
down.
you.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
I think it's a question that would catch people off guard. A lot of people are ready for a small talk answer with how's your day going?
Mhm.
Maybe even how's your week, but how's a
Yeah.
year going? People are like, well,
I do think it's
let's up it. How's your decade been?
yeah. How's your family? Well, how's your family been? Would be a year to 5 year question.
Right.
Yeah.
If you came up and asked someone that, how's your family been? That might be a 20-year. If you see someone of a 20-year reunion,
Mhm.
how's your family been? That's that's a giant question.
Go right into talk to me about the development of your family.
Yeah.
Go for a question like that.
That's a crazy way to word it.
Yeah.
Tell me about the development of your family, dude.
Yeah. They leave. He goes, I don't think Dusty knows what a family is. He's trying to get answers. He goes, what is a family to you?
Do you remember when I was thinking about awkward encounters with celebrities? I've had many.
Yeah.
When I met the Titan guy who lived in my building.
Yeah.
And so you can only imagine how this goes. A guy who asked for an autograph of another high school student.
Right.
There was a Titan. His name was Richard Matthews, and he came to the Titans. He lived in my building. I met him when he was moving in, and they were showing him around. It was in my mail room. I got a little too excited. And I was asking him a lot of questions, being very friendly at first. And then I kept going a little too deep. So I was like, cool. And I was like, well, what unit do you live in? And he got real quiet real quick. And I realized like, he didn't want to tell me.
Yeah.
So then I try to help him out. And I'm like, you don't know yet? He's like, nah, I don't know yet, which is ridiculous.
You just gave him an out. Yeah.
Answer. But, to me, it's like if you lived in an HOA and you're in the HOA office and somebody new moves in, you might ask, what house is yours? So to me, it was the same thing. But
yeah, but a house is more committed where an apartment is more, people are coming and going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people could live there for 6 months, especially even a football player could live there for a month.
Yeah.
Especially the day you move in.
Yeah.
What unit?
I'll help you.
Yeah.
How soon did he move out, Brian?
Well, pretty soon, but I doubled down because he lived one floor below me, and
you found out.
yeah, and I was.
You go, I'll just look into it.
I was always around. So then one day I'm downstairs, and it's early in the morning, and just happened. PK Subban walks out. Now PK Subban played for the Predators, one of the more famous hockey players in NHL, and he's got a fur coat on, a big hat, and he comes out, and I'm like, PK, and I'm like, hey, could I get a selfie with you? And he was very nice. And I don't know why I said this, because he was coming out of Richard's floor. I said, were you visiting Richard? I don't know why I said that. And he didn't even answer. He just ignored the question. But it was the dumbest thing for me to say.
Yeah. This was before he had a family. That's why this is why the family has really helped Bates out. I don't think you had
plenty since then, but
I don't think it's as bad as like, you had a lot of free time.
Yeah.
And so you see PK, you're like, hey, I've been outside 12 times hoping to see somebody.
That's how you recover now. You go, oh, I have a family.
Yeah.
You go, you're visiting Richard, and he looks at you weird. You go, I have a family.
Yeah. Now you don't, with a family, you're not as like, you just got, you got your family to think about.
I don't know.
Your life and family to think about.
Brian says he's had plenty since.
Well, I mean, when one of my biggest pet peeves is when people go up to famous people or comics and say, you don't remember when we met? You don't know me? I hate that. When Kevin Nealon was on this podcast before we started, I kind of did that to him. He sat down. Now, Kevin and I have worked together twice. I thought he would remember me. He did not. And then I thought, oh, he's going to remember it eventually. So I'll just go ahead and tell him. So I was like, oh, we worked together. And then he's like, well, oh, we did? And he's like, well, how we, and I said, well, through your wife, which is such a weird thing to say.
Yeah. And
I met his wife because she was in the green room at Zany's, and she was on Parks and Recreation. And I remembered her. He's like, how do you know Susan? I was like, from Parks and Recreation, which sounds like
that's not a good,
like
you don't want to hear that. Oh, from TV, from a poster on my wall.
Well, I thought it sounded like I worked on Parks and Rec or something. And he thought,
oh no.
And
I don't think he took that. I don't know that's what he think Kevin Nealon thought. He goes, man, Nate's got some kind of staff down there. This guy left Parks and Rec to go host a podcast. Because what kind of podcast is this? Maybe that's why Kevin did it. Maybe he regrets doing it now because he's like, I thought you guys were the guy.
Hopefully, he's not listening to this episode. And he's ruining it for him.
I didn't know I was being the showrunner for Parks and Rec. And we got him down here.
I just kept digging deeper into it.
You're like, what hotel you staying at? What hotel room?
You and Nate hanging out later? Where y'all going?
Imagine you go, I know her from Parks and Rec. And you're like, oh, I get it. I did not work on that show. It's like, what? And then he's got to be like, oh, yeah.
I didn't think you did.
I didn't think you did. I thought you were asking generally the way you're asking, which is the wrong way to ask.
Yeah.
The Parks and Rec. That's funny.
Well, anyway, I kept digging myself in a deeper hole. So there you go. So don't feel bad about Brad Paisley.
Yeah, they always say whenever you think about your own awkward moments, try to think about somebody else's awkward moments, and it's pretty hard to do. Do you know what I mean?
You just think of me and it helps?
No, I don't. I can't remember. I mean, the stories you tell are funny, but I can't think of anybody else's weird, awkward moments. Just something to think about.
Brian Dorfman, I saw him chastise a comic in the Zany's green room for doing that. Wasn't me, but Kirk Herbstreit came in the green room, and the guy was kind of like, "You don't remember like where we met?"
Yeah.
And Kirk's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't." And then when Kirk Herbstreit left, Dorfman said, "Don't ever do that. I mean, this guy sees 1 million people."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to do. It's like, really, you do meet a bunch of people. I remember a lot of people, but sometimes, you don't. And it's
I mean, you might see people a few times a year, and then be like, it's just not, because it's out of the context. Because you see them, that's the thing we're seeing them in so many different places.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to remember. I remember I went to the place, but it's like, oh, we went out to eat after, and you're like, I went out to eat every city in America this year.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, maybe odds are, like, I'm not saying you won't, but it could be as big as that. Where you're like, no, we hung out, and you're like, it's like, not that you're trying not to, but you're like, I don't know, you're thinking of. I mean, I forget I thought this weekend, I don't know I don't think I could do the Hello World special right now. I was like thinking about it. If I had to go do that, if he was like, go repeat that, I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
My brain is so into this new hour that I'm like, I don't think I could even start. Couldn't do the Shields joke. I kind of remember the jokes, but it's like, I couldn't do the Shields joke. I don't think I could do, I wouldn't remember even the Christian Parents. Like, if I got the rhythm started, I could get it probably quicker, but I have to really go work at it.
Somebody yelled out a joke to me in Bowling Green, one of my older jokes that I don't do at all anymore. And I was like, I'd like to do this joke for them, but it took me a minute. I went through other jokes while trying to think of how this joke went. And I did get it, and I did it, but it took me a minute. It's like, I don't just know all the jokes.
So that's how you're getting to an hour 25.
Yeah. Were you taking requests?
There you go.
I did do that one joke. Yeah. I mean, that joke was like, a minute. I mean, I'm ready. I got lots of jokes. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I love the theater world is fairly new to me, and I'm
soaking it up.
I'm into it. Yeah, I'm into it.
I had a real ego check this weekend. I have a long bit about beef jerky that I've been doing for a while. And to this guy sitting in the front row at the show, during my set, I looked down, he's got a huge bag of beef jerky on his table. And I was like, oh, did you bring that for me? Oh. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
I go, you bring it for my beef jerky thing? He goes, I don't even know who you are. He just bought a bunch of beef jerky. I was like, God, I feel like an idiot. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This guy brought me beef jerky. Nah, it's just a guy from Canada.
Yeah, I'm good, man. How'd the beef jerky?
It went great. I worked it into that thing. Yeah, it was good. And then he gave me some after. It was really good.
Just right out of the bag?
Right out of the bag.
Just some loose ones.
Just been touched by a bunch of strangers' hands. It was solid.
That describes Canada. I mean, Edmonton.
Real beef country.
Yeah, it's the fact that a guy that you're that comfortable would bring a bag of beef jerky
and sitting it on a table.
You don't have it under your seat. It's beef jerky smells.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was like we did. My dad, Abigail, they went to my nephew's basketball game. She posted a picture of it, but he's eating a hot tuna sandwich that he made from home
in a gym.
And they're just, my dad's hair is a mess. He's just eating this hot tuna sandwich. And you're like, Dad, everybody got to smell that.
The whole gym smells like tuna.
Because I'm watching my grandson. Can't have a hot tuna sandwich. You can't just eat a hot tuna sandwich. I mean,
I went with a comic on the road one time, Jim Seward, and he had pastrami in a cooler in the car, and every time he would open, I love pastrami, but every time he would open this cooler, it would just fill the car.
Yeah,
it was making me so sick. I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, of all the meats to put in a cooler, you put pastrami in here?
Yeah. That's what's hard about packing your lunch or packing whatever, is because it's the smell.
Yeah.
And it's like when they're like, oh, you have a cooler, and you do it, and you're like, I don't want to. if I smell it, that means everybody smells it. I don't want to get used to the smell that I don't even know what's happening.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're just walking around
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, I don't, I mean, yeah, they on a plane is like, Laura will do it, I think, on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
With me, she'll bring something that I'm like, we can't be eating that on this plane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Charlotte airport has a Popeye's chicken in it, and people buy that and bring it on a plane. And I love fried chicken, but I'm like, it's tough on a plane.
It's a risky move. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's tough to put it in there. That's a tough one for people to just not. I mean, because at airport is the only place where you're like, well, I'm going to starve to death.
Yeah.
So you can make the most excuses.
Right.
It's the hardest place to eat healthy.
I'll eat P.F. Chang's at 7 a.m.
Yeah. Because you're like, what am I going to do? I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have a Popeyes next to it is like, what are we going to do?
How do you avoid smelling like smoke?
Well, last week, this is very exciting. I'm glad you brought this up, Brian. Last week, the West Coast legend himself, Snoop Dogg, announced that he is done with smoke. It's over. He's eliminating it. How could that be that the dog father could be going smokeless? Well, we learned this week, as it turns out, that he is going smokeless, but not in the way you think. He's actually joining forces with our old friends, the makers of the world's most popular smokeless fire pits, Solo Stove, and has even been coined their official smokesperson. Whoa. It wouldn't be Snoop if he didn't drop it like it's hot, which is exactly what he's doing with the Snoop Stove, a limited edition bonfire fire pit designed by Snoop himself. Each custom fire pit comes with a going smokeless bucket hat and limited run of stickers. I need to order one before they sell out. Run, don't walk to solostove.com to pick up the limited edition fire pit and join Snoop in going smokeless for good. That's solostove.com.
All right.
Drop it like it's hot.
That was a fun read.
Yeah.
All right. Thomas Ewers, or did I do Patrick McCormick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thomas Ewers. Ewers. E-W-E-R-S. Eeyores. Dusty, you said you wanted a bat colony to take care of mosquitoes, but your neighbors won't be happy with bats. And if you get tired of them, the cost to relocate is very expensive. How could it be expensive?
Yeah, just take it down.
Yeah. You should get peacocks or guinea hens. Ooh. They eat not only mosquitoes, but ticks and other bugs as well. Each year, the peacocks shed their feathers, so you get free peacock feathers, which you're already in the hole buying those. So guineas offer an excellent security system, as they'll let you know whenever anyone comes in your yard.
Well, Thomas, this is great. This seems much easier than bats.
Yeah. Peacock's pretty fun.
Peacock is fun. And who couldn't use some extra peacock feathers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe he's saying the cost to relocate for you is very expensive.
What do you mean?
He says your neighbors won't be happy with bats. And if you get tired of them, the cost to relocate is very expensive. If you get tired of your neighbors, the cost for you to relocate is very expensive.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's talking about the bats.
Well, then what does that mean? How is that expensive? You just take it down.
Maybe because he might be picturing a bat house like I'm picturing, which is a shed type house that you're. I picture you trying to get
like an old, like an old clock tower.
Yeah, like if you're like, well, I got 4 bats. I mean, 4 bats might not. They can't do all the mosquitoes.
Yeah, this is a very small house. It's just that it's like the wood is really close together, and that's what bats like, to be able to get in there and hang down.
Yeah, but is that many? Do you need a lot of bats to not have mosquitoes?
I don't think so. I think a couple of bats could eat a ton of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
What about spectricide?
Well, I just am not really into pesticides these days. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot where you came from. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to go pesticide free.
Mm-hmm.
You get rid of ticks too and other bugs. I mean,
well, I'm into that. I mean, if I had some land, I would be into some peacocks.
What's a guinea hen?
Guineas. I think it's just
we got a male peacock.
Oh,
right. I think it's a different kind of species altogether. I mean, it's a bird, but
yeah, I think I've seen guinea hens in people's yards. We've lost our connection there.
I think a hen in itself is a female.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Look it up.
Glad we got to the bottom of that.
Richard McElroy. Brian should consider apologizing for saying Coco the gorilla killed her pet kitten. The truth as it escaped from Coco's cage and was run over by a car.
Wow.
When it was signed to Coco that her kitten had died, Coco signed bad, sad, bad, and frown, cry, frown, sad, trouble. Coco was also heard later making sounds similar to human weeping. Brian.
Wow.
Wow, you should apologize.
I hope no one says that you said that to Coco.
Well, I did. I got it wrong. I got Coco mixed up with another ape that killed their pet. So I do want to apologize. Coco's no longer with us. So I want to post, if Coco's family's listening, I want to apologize to them or anyone else in Coco's immediate family that heard me say that. I apologize.
Maybe don't sign it to Coco that the cat died.
Yeah. And Coco doesn't.
Yeah, why even tell this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see that video of Robin Williams doing comedy to Coco?
Mm-hmm.
He's killing to another species.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Apparently Bill Burr has a special.
He's like tickling it funny and he's like laughing. I mean, that's impressive.
Bill Burr has a special where he talks about this, and I think it's called Justice for Coco or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Robin Williams was very hairy.
I think so.
Oh.
He could be part gorilla, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
He's a very hairy guy.
All right.
Saying that's why he connected with him?
Yeah.
I guess this whole comment was just making fun of the dad. Coco and Robin Williams. They pulled him in here somehow. Taylor Collins. I used to babysit for my cousin, and my aunt had an African gray parrot. It was very smart and would make the sound of the phone ringing and then shout at my cousin's voice and say, "Mom, phone."
Oh, gosh.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. That's fun.
Good job reading that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was solid, dude.
I mean, you emphasized it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the mom phone.
Yeah.
SNL, the acting really paid off.
Yeah.
The acting coming out.
Yeah.
It's coming out. Annie Halcomb. I love that Dusty brought up his future worms on the pets episode. I'm not allowed pets in my apartment, but I'm dreaming of setting up worms outside this spring for food, composting. As a newcomer to the pod, this felt like a sign I'm in the right place here. You're being into some more other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the right place. I mean, keep listening to the things I say and then get into that stuff.
Yep.
I mean, that's the way to go. I've not set up the worm farm yet, but I do have the tub now, so it's on its way.
Where's the tub?
Tub's in McMinnville.
It's unloaded.
Yeah, it's unloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I unloaded a cast iron tub out of the back of my truck by myself.
Wow.
I've been working out.
Yeah. Do you ever sit at home? You feel like you got a lot going on?
Yeah, we're moving around a lot. I mean, we like to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed from listening to your podcast and just your special, you go to Michael's a lot.
Still very funny that you have a podcast.
Yeah.
I like to talk. You know, I'm a bit of a talker.
It just goes. Everybody go check Dusty's podcast.
What's the other one? Michael's, and what's the other one that you got kicked out of?
Well, I didn't get kicked out.
Joanne's
Fabrics, yeah.
And you're always looking for picture frames or fabric.
Yeah.
I mean, picture frames. Steve.
Well, I like to frame stuff, and sometimes they have deals, buy one, get one free. But they don't make it very clear what the deal is. So often I take the frames to the counter and I go, I just want to make sure these are on the buy one, get one free list. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know they are, but I don't want you ringing them up and not being. They go, oh, well, not these.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, not these. Why you got signs all over the whole area?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, be specific about it. I walked out. I just walk out.
$8 picture frames.
I leave them with the frames.
Yeah.
I go, well, all right, then get your signs right.
What do you think is going to happen? Like, let's say you get super famous. Everybody knows you. Do you think you ever just stop it, or this is what they get? Like, you ever?
Well, I hope that, they'll just remember that I did this when I wasn't famous.
Yeah.
And how you haven't changed.
And don't make it like a fame thing. It's like, no, I've always been difficult in a retail store.
Yeah. Man, fame's gone his head. No. Your biggest defender. Nah, he's always been difficult.
Yeah.
Any kind of store, you don't want that guy in the store, famous or not famous.
Exactly.
He tipped badly when he didn't have money.
Yeah. I worked in retail stores too much. I know how the employees are in there from working side by side with them. It's like, don't play these games with me.
Ish Mendoza. Seemed like it would be a hard name. Not as bad as a good one.
Yeah.
Ish Mendoza. Brand Muffin said Chowchilla instead of Chinchilla. Chowchilla is a small farming California town about 40 minutes north of Fresno. Messed up Fresno.
Yeah, I meant to say Chinchilla.
Chinchilla.
Chowchilla, I do know. My grandmother lived there for a couple of years when she was little.
Wow.
What?
You believe that?
I don't believe
crazy. When?
This is like the 19-teens.
Oh, I thought it was like 1850.
Yeah.
No, not that
She
far.
was one of the first people out there.
Yeah.
She went for the gold rush.
Yeah, it's the gold. Oh.
Chowchilla has a very famous thing happen. Well, I don't know how famous, but a school bus of kids got kidnapped and held hostage, and the hostage takers buried them alive in a rock quarry.
Wow. It got darker as it went.
But they all survived.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Bad news Bates coming alive.
It ends up well. So
in Livermore, California.
Well, that's where they got buried, but they're from Chowchilla. Look at that.
Look at that. It's got the 1976
Why did they do
Chowchilla
it?
kidnapping.
For ransom money, and they were asking for ransom money, and then the kids.
They spent 16 hours underground.
That's brutal. And you told it like it was a positive day.
Well, it ended up good.
Yeah.
That
was 47 years ago. So these kids are probably are they your age maybe? Or how old were they?
I don't know how old they were.
26 children, 5 to 14. So 47 years ago, some people on that bus are your age.
Mm-hmm.
So we could be looking at a Chowchilla victim right here.
Had your grandmother not moved?
Yeah, as your grandmother not moved, you would be, this is the exact age you would have hit it dead on.
Mm.
You would be Chowchilla.
I'd be a hero.
You think those kids got their parents to drive them to school after that? Or they were still like, I wish I could take you, but I still have to work.
It'd be like you trying to get an apartment, you're George Costanza versus the Andrew Doria survivor, but you're trying to get it from one of them. They're like, well, we were underground for 16 hours. How many people go underground on a normal bus?
Yeah.
How many hours on a regular bus are you underground? 30, 40? Come on.
All 3 people who did this have been paroled. They're all out walking free.
Wow.
As of last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're still out there.
Well, at least they're reformed.
That's what you hope people understand. Younger people, and they do crazy things. Those guys were in prison 47 years of their life.
Yeah.
You go in, they are in, and they obviously had to be older.
It was the quarry's owner's son and 2 of his friends. So it was like younger kids that did this.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were in their 20s.
It's too bad for the kids. I mean, the dad, but it's like he drug his kids along.
Man, yeah.
And they were like, all right, well, dad says we should do this, so let's do it.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's, you really honestly, you hope kids, like, I don't think kids think of stuff, where you're like, man, your whole life, those kids go in at 20 and they're not out till they're 67, 70 years old.
Jeez. Yeah, it's real.
Your whole life is, and then you get out at the end just to be like, here's the end of it.
Yeah, and you go to prison in 1976, and then you come out now, like the world is completely changed. You're like,
different place.
You won't, yeah.
You're getting a senior citizen discount, and Shoney's is not even around anymore.
Finally, you go. You know what I look forward to? Going to Shoney's.
Yeah.
He goes, I hope they're around. What are you, out of your mind? That was the populous place. Like, because you could never imagine that they would go into the ground.
Yeah.
You think at this point it's only better. Imagine what you thought the breakfast buffet would be.
Yeah.
There's a couple still left.
Yeah. Man, Shoney's was nice. It's a great name.
Yeah.
That one on Dawson Pike's still there, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. It's Shoney's was like we didn't get to go much, but man, when it was like it would be a big deal.
Yeah.
Like if it's like you gotta go to Shoney's, you'd want to go every week.
Oh
but,
yeah.
You get a big boy.
That was called
the burger was called the Big Boy, wasn't it?
Big Boy.
Oh, maybe. I always got the kids fish and chips. I went as a kid.
Yeah. And just stayed the same.
Yeah.
Who's that, Aaron?
This is the victory parade for the survivors.
No, maybe trap them on a float for 16 hours.
Some of the kids don't look pumped about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can we walk around a little bit? No, stay on the float. Don't get off the float. And he goes, yeah, but I mean, we're just kind of antsy.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is crazy. Chad Mangum. Chad Mangum. Man gum,
like dad gum, or man gum.
Chad Mangum. I love the ongoing debate of who would blend into which sport, and I would be interested to circle back to Aaron being a long snapper. You can fine-tune the snap to be quick and accurate, but what about punt coverage? The average punt travels 45 yards, and the snapper is the first guy down the middle of the field. Can Aaron make the tackle or at least force the returner to go wide?
No, I don't think I'd succeed at that part of it.
I have a hard time thinking you're going to still be the first person down the field.
Yeah.
You might be the first guy that can run, but you ain't.
I'll get a head start on everybody, but I'm not getting down there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like, golly, that long snapper barely makes it 10 yards.
What I took it as, if you saw me standing on the sideline in pads and somebody said that's the long snapper, that's the closest chance I got to blending in. That's
but you got to go play.
See, that's what
I think I'm
saying.
on a really good team. We don't punt that often.
The debate is the debate who would look best in the uniform.
No, I think it's you got to play.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I love this idea, and I've thought about it a lot, and so I want to see maybe one day we can do something like it's, but it's. Like to shoot something, or because I think it's very fun.
I'll do the swim. I'd like to train a little bit, but I also, if I do the swim and get embarrassed by other swimmers, I need Brian to be out on a professional soccer field.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to. It'd be very fun. We could try to shoot it where it's like you have a camera that's, like a kind of a far view camera. Swimming would be easy. We get everybody's a professional swimmer, and then And maybe you have to put your hair up in that thing so no one could tell your hair.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine losing.
Speedo.
I'm fine. Well, I'm fine losing too.
Well, that's how they're going to pick. If everybody's wearing the proper things.
One guy's in a t-shirt.
But I'm fine losing and swimming.
No, thank you. I brought my own shorts.
Cut off jeans.
Yeah. As long as I get to see Brian on a professional soccer field.
Yeah, you would. I mean, then we'd have Brian go play like probably, whatever level soccer would agree to do this.
Wouldn't it be amazing if he were really great though? Like if this whole thing came down to Brian is actually a great soccer player.
I mean, it'd be amazing if there was peace in the world. What are we talking about? You saw him go up and down the stairs. I don't know what he's going to surprise you out on the field.
Well, again, I never claimed to be a great soccer player. I can walk around out there.
But I think he would. A ref is what you. A ref, you would be
NFL ref for sure.
Anything. NFL's a long way to run. You might do good, even NBA.
Umpire, just stand down the right field line.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, baseball. Someone heard us talking about it. It's like baseball would be a good one. Because you can just, baseball, it'd be go stand out in right field. I mean, it's
that was my whole life.
Yeah.
Go stand out in right field. Right.
You go do.
Just keep it going.
Your cutoff man's 10 feet from you.
Yeah.
Because that's how close he's got to get.
There's two cutoff men.
Yeah. He goes, I got to run. I need to run up. He goes, throw it to the cutoff. Oh, I can't get to the cutoff.
I throw it to the center fielder.
Yeah.
Here, you throw it in.
You throw it to a man in the stands and he throws it to the.
Hey, could you throw this in for me?
Mike Evans, pet/house sitting is a major part of the traveling plan for my wife and me. We use a couple of websites like trustedhousesitters.com that connect pet owners to willing and vetted caregivers. The exchange is the opportunity to visit a location and stay in a home and a neighborhood while caring for the homeowner's home and or pets. Believe it or not, our most recent travel took us to Nashville for our very first time. We got to be a part of New Material Monday at Zany's and heard Dusty and Aaron.
All right. That's awesome.
That's the show I'm thinking of. That was a hot show.
They didn't say whether or not they enjoyed it.
Yeah, they didn't comment on the show at all.
Yeah. But they did see
this could have been the beginning of an angry email.
Yeah.
I signed up for this when I first quit my job. I signed up for Trusted House Sitters to go to different cities. I don't think I ever actually did it, but
I thought you would switch apartments with someone.
I did that too a few times, but I also signed up for this. You helped me take a picture. I didn't have a dog, and they wanted photos of you with pets. So Annie was over your house, and I squatted down next to
photo shoot with Nate's dog.
With Nate's dog and Annie, and Nate took the picture for the website.
It's crazy you didn't get it.
Wow, funny. The name is Trusted House Sitters, and your whole thing is based on a lie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't get it. They could see through me.
Yeah, that is true. These guys might be good.
Yeah.
They might be real good.
Yeah.
Shelby Parker. Aaron, an octopus is also my least favorite animal. They creep me out so much, and I can't even watch them on TV. You perfectly described the reasons that they're the worst. That got me wondering, what is everyone's least favorite animal?
I don't like snakes. I mean, I guess that's a popular one, but
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
But the snake doesn't have near human intelligence. That's the creepy part of this for me.
Yeah. I guess I don't think of creepy with an octopus because it's like anything underwater, you're like, they don't feel gross to me or something. Like,
oh, really?
Stay out of the water.
Yeah. They don't feel, I mean, they could scare me, but I get the idea. You could talk, I could see how that's like not, that's.
Well, I reacted to when somebody had an octopus in their house. That's what I'm saying. So, like an octopus, I'm not frightened day to day by octopi because they're in the ocean.
Yeah.
Somebody
recommended a documentary. A couple of people did that you should watch. I think it was called Mr. Octopus or something.
My octopus teacher or whatever. That creeped me out, dude.
Oh, it didn't work. Okay.
I'd check that. I'd check that out.
No.
See, this is creepy to me too. I never really thought about that with octopus, but that's pretty creepy.
The octopus teacher is this dude that just like swam around and fell in love with an octopus in the ocean.
Okay. No, I don't like that.
Nah.
That's what the movie's about?
It's he developed a relationship with an octopus.
People will be marrying an octopus.
Yeah, it's getting us close to that, isn't it? Yeah. It's getting close to that.
Is it?
I don't think it's like a romantic love, but they just become infatuated with each other.
What is it?
Sounds like romantic to me.
I think it was nominated for an Oscar. I mean, It was a very well-received documentary.
Oh, it's a real thing?
Oh, yeah. My octopus teacher.
Well, I'm ready for you to pay me my $20 here soon. What? I mean, that's coming.
People said it already happened.
A year spent by filmmaker Craig Foster for forging a relationship with a wild common octopus in a South African kelp forest. It won the award for Best Documentary at the 93rd Academy Awards. So it was a big deal. But I turned it off about halfway through. I couldn't handle it. I didn't like it.
I think I would agree.
Why? Because of the octopus?
The whole thing just creeped me out and was weird. And once you learn how smart they are.
What if she was, every time she went there, it was a different octopus and she never knew? I mean, how do you really know?
Yeah. They say octopus can.
How does she know which one?
Impregnate itself.
They just go to the same spot?
Well, they have distinct markings and it would be in the same spot. And it got to a point where it would come up. It would come up to him.
Oh, is a guy.
And just let it follow it around.
Like where? Like in the ocean?
It says
he'd walk around in the ocean and it would
in South Africa, snorkel down with it.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig.
Just hang out with it.
Yeah.
Spend time with it.
It's like its friend. It became friends with it.
Mm-hmm.
That would make me want to watch it more than what you described it as. Like he fell in love with
He did.
But I mean, it's like his buddy, like the way you love a dog.
I said it's not a romantic thing.
Yeah,
but it was like it's more than a dog though. It's different.
Yeah,
it's different because it's smart.
Watch this after Shawshank.
Yeah, but he loves it like a dog.
Watch what?
This after Shawshank.
I'll do this first.
What's Cherry?
It would really upset me if you watched this before you watched the Shawshank Redemption, dude.
What do you think that octopus has seen Shawshank? Has it already watched it? I mean, it's already won an Oscar. Yeah,
they watched it.
That's more than Shawshank won.
Yeah. They didn't win an Oscar?
No, because it was the toughest year ever to be nominated because Forrest Gump just won everything.
Oh, but I thought Shawshank was the best movie ever.
Shawshank was a flop at the box office. It didn't make money at the time. It picked up steam later. Ted Turner bought it and he put it on TNT forever, and then DVD sales came out and it made a lot of money after the fact.
Yeah,
I didn't
kind of
realize
bombed
that.
at the time. Yeah,
that's
terrible name. It's a tough name. If they should redo it, they should name it something else.
Well, I don't know. Now I think it's a great name because it's the most you recognize.
But if you know nothing about it and you just see Shawshank Redemption, that's
what's kept me. Then maybe I would agree to if I saw it. What's kept me from watching is I just picture some whole heavy.
It sounds pretentious.
Thing,
it does.
Yeah,
it does sound pretentious, but it's great.
Brooklyn Stable. I bet stable. Because there's an I.
Yeah.
Stable, but an I after the B. Stable. I bet there's something. You're doing a little something at the end.
Stable.
Yeah, I don't think you're just going stable. I think you're doing a little something at the end. I think you get to the B and you're like, you better,
buckle up.
Strap in.
You better hold on. Yeah. Brooklyn stable.
Bile.
My mom was majorly depressed. Oh boy. And
strap in.
My mom was majorly depressed and needed to get out and be around others. So I invited her to join me on my 6-hour drive. I put on the podcast and she shared that she had never watched any of Nate's stand-up. We proceeded to watch every special we could find for the remainder of the trip. And the Nate melody made the time go by faster and had her crying with laughter. She said she hasn't laughed like that in a long time, and I think it was really healing. Well, that's the best.
Wow.
Thank you, Brooklyn. Yeah, I love. Yeah, I mean, man, hearing people laugh, it's a very rewarding thing to hear. I can tell you that it really does means a lot. And hearing stuff like that, because it's that's
why
what
you do it.
That's why you do it, and you really do it for that. And that's what I've enjoyed with, as doing stand up, is like, you're just like, because you can just, I mean, man, when you're just hearing people going, you're like, it's you just feel it's really, it's great. It fuels us to keep
for
wanting to get back, because you're like, I just want to keep, giving.
Yeah, and I think if you laugh a lot, if you're around people that make you laugh, you can really take for granted that some people aren't in those environments where they're not laughing a lot. So they really do need a comedy show.
Yeah. And they really get to like go, man, that was, hopefully feel the relieved and the happiness, and, just can move forward. All right.
Dusty, you want to tell us about AG1?
I sure do. If you are a big Nateland fan, you know that we've been drinking AG1 for a couple of years. We all started drinking AG1 daily and really feel like we're doing something good to cover all our nutritional bases. That's because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health. I replaced my multivitamin with AG1 because it's much easier to mix 1 scoop of powder in water once a day than to remember to take a bunch of different things. It takes under a minute and costs less than $3 a day, and it tastes great. Since we travel so often, we use single-serving travel packs, so we never have to miss a day when we are on the road. You can get free monthly delivery to make it even easier. It is a lot to take a bunch of different things. AG1 is the supplement we trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why they've been a partner of Nateland for so long. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Nate. That's drinkag1.com/Nate. Check it out. It is a lot. When Aaron laughs, it seems like I'm not serious, but it is a lot to take a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can just mix it up and drink it and get your D3K2 supplements. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep. All
right. This week, it's Thanksgiving week.
Sure is.
We're all going to be with family, different places. I thought it was a good time to talk about bathrooms.
Oh, man. Most important room in the house.
Yeah.
It seems what?
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about this one.
You didn't know that's what we were doing?
No. I think, I don't know how far I would have made it if I would have known.
Well, it's an important topic. And bathrooms are called different things in different parts of the world.
It's relatable because, we all use it.
That's right.
Unless you live in an area where they don't have them.
But you still use the bathroom.
You do.
I'm guessing if that's the case, you're not listening to this podcast.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday was World Toilet Day.
Oh, okay.
And that's to bring attention that much of the world still doesn't have access to that.
And what those people want most is for us to know about it.
Yeah, just dive into the history of it.
They're like,
sure.
They're like, yeah, we don't have it, but We're still not going to have it, but it's good if you know that we don't have it.
Yeah.
What is the World Toilet Day though? It's because how many people don't have toilets? I know other countries and stuff, and they do it. But then you also want to go, why can't we get them toilets?
Yeah.
Well, like I think it's not the actual toilet, but maybe the piping and all the.
I mean, Derek and them, they go over there and they do a lot of stuff and build these communities up.
Right now, there are 3.5 billion people still living without safe toilets. 419 million people still practice
what's a safe
open
toilet,
defecation.
One of my toilets in
I've
my
used
house
some
is
unsafe
not,
toilets. Yeah.
But what is
World Toilet Day is about accelerating change by doing whatever you can. Take action today and share the campaign with your people. I guess it's just raising awareness. Break taboos. Talk about the critical connection between toilets, water, and
Yeah, it's
it's those toilet taboos.
Yeah, I understand. Like, I just think how you can't have. How could you? What is the plan?
Well, for one, let's stop putting food waste, oils, medicines, and chemicals down our toilets.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, we got to stop doing that. Right?
Compost.
Yeah.
Get into compost.
It's about being the change.
That's right.
And
I can see that. But it's like, but I thought the big thing was like, let's talk about, I could see if it's World Toilet Day and it's like, hey, here's how you do toilet. But like, they want you to give money. And I just don't, it's like, I'm just saying, like, how's it going to get to the toilets? But.
Well, it's got to work its way down.
If I give this thing money,
the people running the organization
buying a toilet?
For sure going to get themselves.
Can I buy 5 toilets and be like, and they're going to just knock on the door and bring a person a toilet?
No, I don't think that's what this charity does.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is, I mean, there's not even a place to donate on here. I think they just really just want us to
I thought it said give money.
But just like on your own, do whatever.
Make your commitment and be the change.
Yeah,
I bet that's where you give the money.
They disguise the word donate.
Yeah,
it's probably a monthly thing. You don't just give one time. You got to sign up.
And this is the unwater.org. Is it United Nations?
Yeah, it would be like, that's what I'm saying is I would like to, if they like it, I think that's what happens is when they're like, well, 3.5 billion people don't have toilets. And in our head, you're like, then how come we can't just like, let's go solve that? And I think everybody would be like, yeah, but I just want, I want it to be done.
Right.
So let's, and I understand it might
I don't want to hear about this next year.
But honestly, if you go, let's get it done. Like, let's go, okay. That's the giant thing. Then what do we got to do?
Yeah, if they laid out the plan, they were like, all right, in this area, all we need is this much money and we can get it built. Then we could all donate to there.
Yeah.
And then we'll say, all right, is it done? And then if it's done, then you can go, all right, well, let's start doing this everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I am shocked to hear it's that many people. I think they've made great strides over the last few decades in getting people access to.
I mean, I don't,
Yeah, last year was 3.7 billion. Now it's 3.5 billion.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
serious?
No, it's made.
Oh.
I'm saying it's such a huge number.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like 3.5 still living without safe toilets, but 419 million still practice going outside. Well,
I do.
So
that.
half of those,
I practice going. I peed outside 3 or 4 times today.
Yeah. So that means,
I mean,
half a
it's
billion.
not that late in the day, does it?
So we're going down. So right now we've already cut it down to 3 billion because half of them are trying to do it outside. That's what that says.
Yeah.
Half of them are like, that's the main thing. This is where we do it. We do it outside.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Save yourself some water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, bathrooms.
I mean, I don't want people to die. I mean that. Yeah.
Right.
But
This is
for
obvious.
kids, but it's.
I don't understand what a safe toilet is. I'd like them to define that a bit better.
I think just a toilet.
Yeah.
Like just running water. It's really it's a running water.
Yeah.
Because you have water, you'd have all this stuff. Which Derek, everybody over there, they go and do a lot of this stuff. So they do and go build up a lot of mission trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's always like that kind of thing where you want to go. And I believe they are all doing that kind of stuff. And I have trouble, I guess, with this thing specifically being like, well, what are you? If you're this big thing, what are you doing?
They're probably very unsanitary. A lot of these non-safe toilets and disease probably spreads. But bathrooms are more than just toilets. They're showers. They're sinks.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
Bath mats.
Yeah.
Yeah, bath mats.
Sometimes they'll have a floor tile in there.
Thank you, Dusty.
Yeah.
They're called different things in different countries. Australia. Anybody know what they're called in Australia?
A washroom.
Loos.
Yeah. The loo. Is it?
Water closets.
That's England.
Well, they're
WC.
They're cut from the same cloth.
Okay. Well, they call it a dunny.
A dunny. I haven't heard. I didn't hear that.
They gotta go run to the dunny real quick.
Yeah.
According to the internet. In Canada, it's a washroom.
Yeah.
Japan, it's a binjo. All right.
Dynamite stuff right here, boy. We're rolling.
Well, the average person spends between 6 and 8 times a day in the bathroom.
6 and 8 times.
Yeah.
You got to be hydrated out here. You got to be drinking the water.
I bet so.
Altogether.
You think that? No, well,
I mean, it's for anything.
To go in and like look in the mirror, to go in and brush your teeth.
Well,
I think it's you're peeing.
That feels like a lot of time.
If you drink it, if you're properly hydrated.
At my age, it seems low.
Look, on this podcast, I noticed like you guys.
Brian would kill for 6 days.
Yeah.
He goes, sign me up. Where can I get 6?
I've done that since I've been here.
But on the podcast, you guys rarely drink your whole mug of water. Every time I drink the whole mug of water, Nate often brings a refill of water. So I bet you're not properly hydrated.
I am doing all right.
How do you know?
No, I bet you're not.
My water.
I'm doing. I actually make an effort to do it.
How much you drink?
About a gallon a day.
You need a gallon.
Yeah.
I think it's.
How do you do it? You have a big thing?
I have water bottles and I drink 8 of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. And you don't pee 8 times?
No.
You drink 8 bottles and you don't pee 8 times?
Well, I don't know. I don't keep
often.
Count. I really don't keep count. Maybe I'll keep count the next.
Do you hold it for a long time to build
Sometimes
up?
I do. Yeah. Sometimes. Well, I don't do it for a reason.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes
you're like, I want to make sure I only pee 4 times a day.
So himself is young.
Hold it. Yeah.
Doesn't go.
How you pee a lot of time? 20 times a day?
20, 25.
Yeah.
I would say.
No, dude.
No, I don't know.
That's your whole day.
Every time you walk by a bathroom, do you think about it?
Might as well go.
Might as well go.
I'm about to sit down, so I might as well do it before I sit down. Yeah.
That is good.
Water's delicious.
That is good water.
Water's delicious.
Yeah.
I love water. I know I have friends that don't. They tell me they don't drink water.
I never drink water. And I mean, I've been doing it for the past year, like trying to, it's hard. I cannot do it. But I mean, man, when you want it, it's, and I've started being able to feel the sodas and the stuff that dehydrates you. And you can feel coffee, like this kind of, you can just be like afterwards, you're like, I mean, that just felt like it sucked so much out of me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand it. I get needing it.
I only drink water and black coffee. That's what I like. And when I would have cigars, I haven't had cigars in a month. I would have a ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nicotine free right now.
Oh yeah,
it feels good.
Yeah,
yeah. I've been a little more intense, but it feels good.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's where the bat house stuff is coming from.
Yes.
Are you looking for stuff to find interesting?
No.
Well, we're on episode 175. You said find stuff that's silly.
I love it.
So,
yeah,
I love it.
About the bathroom.
The first flushing toilet was invented by a poet.
Thomas Crapper. Wasn't that his name?
He's the guy who...
I swear to God, that's his name.
I was getting to him next, but he's the guy who really refined the toilet, but he wasn't the inventor.
Okay. He brought it into a different league.
The last name Crapper faded away shortly after that.
Well, I mean,
no, I think. Well, was it used that way before him? I think we're paying homage to him.
That's what I'm saying. Like
use the word.
The last name.
Oh, but they stopped using it.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna go ahead and change this.
Well, he is like he refined it. He ran a plumbing company in England, and he made it a lot better. And there's legend that World War II soldiers from America saw the signs everywhere and say, I'm going to go use the crapper. And that's how that came about.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's true or not.
I saw crapper plumbing signs all over England.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the guy, John Harrington,
he's probably like, well, that's not. It's like a mix of good and bad for business. Where you're like, people are aware of your business, but then you're also being like, that's not the best word to have associated with your business. But maybe back then it was not associated at all bad.
Yeah, I think it was just.
But now crap has got to be real bad.
Yeah, that's what I think. You're like you're crapper. You invented it, and then they start calling it a crapper, and then you're like, oh, I don't want my last name to be this anymore.
Oh, He held 9 patents, 3 of them for water closet improvements, such as the float. Okay. A lot of this terminology is pretty wild. He improved the S-bend plumbing trap in 1880 by inventing the U-bend. I mean, this guy, you're trying to downplay his involvement, Brian, but this guy.
He revolutionized
Revolutionized. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
I think they put his parents' name, I guess he had one parent, Charles Crapper.
Old Chuck Crapper.
I mean, but why would they only put one parent? And then they go,
I don't know.
And then, but I feel like his name is like, you're like, what? You know, I feel like Wikipedia's like Thomas Crapper. And then, and everybody's going to be like, well, who is that?
His wife kept her maiden name.
Yeah.
His spouse was Maria Green.
That's why you don't see his mom.
Green Crapper.
So maybe that Crapper name went down quick.
Yeah.
His father Charles was a sailor. He was apprenticed to his brother George. I mean, there's no talk of his mom. I guess they don't know. Maybe. She might have not want to be a part of this. In 1904, Crapper retired, passing the firm to his nephew George Crapper and his business partner Robert Marr Wareham. That's a tough name too.
Oh yeah,
like Wareham. Like it's not. You know, it's like you would hope it'd be like a cool name to be like, all right,
offset it.
Well, come on down to Crapper and Wareham's.
Can't crap them, wear them.
Yeah. We going on down here. That's tough, man. And then, but I think you got to put his dad's name in there just because you're like, you would almost believe it. It almost has to show you. I wonder if they do it because it has to show you that this person's real.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, they're making this up. And then that's all they got to do. You go, they're not making it up. His dad's name was Charles Crapper. That also could be made up.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're like, well, if he had a dad named Charles Crapper, then I bet Thomas is that too.
Yeah. Oh, it was World War I soldiers. Excuse me.
That's okay.
But back to John Harrington, who was a poet, and he was the godson of Queen Elizabeth I. And he wrote some risque poems, so they banished him from the court. And during his exile, this is in the 1500s, he built a house and devised and installed the first flushing toilet. He called it the Ajax. And then eventually Queen Elizabeth forgave him and visited his house, and he showed her his new invention, and she tried it out, and she liked it so much, she ordered one for herself. And when you say you're going to the John, it's because of John Harrington.
Oh, man, and Porta John.
Oh, Porta John, yeah. There you go.
This guy really made a splash.
So this was invented in the 1500s, and it wasn't until Thomas Crapper came along that it really got revolutionized. 400 years.
Yeah, it took 400 years to really take it to the mainstream.
Yeah, maybe people didn't really worry. I mean, we couldn't get word around back then.
Yeah.
It's pretty, I mean, what a different time. This guy was exiled for writing
risque
poems. Imagine caring that much about a poem.
Yeah.
And you kick somebody out of society for
the original cancel culture back then.
Oh, man. I'd like to see these poems.
Now, I feel like one of our early podcasts, we were talking about what's the greatest invention. And was it you that said the toilet, or was it Nate? And you said air conditioning.
I've always been an air conditioning fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we debated over which one was more important.
Yeah.
If you're living in the South, it's tough to debate the AC thing. Because I always thought, why would they settle up in Minnesota and Wisconsin with it being so cold? But then I realized, like, before the air conditioner, why would you settle down south?
Yeah.
A lot of them didn't until the AC. If you track like population growth in the South, it's after air conditioning. Central air got used. That's when they really started taking off.
Yeah.
Because you could actually live down here comfortably. Couldn't do that for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That is crazy.
Brutal.
Yeah, that would make sense. You're like, you got to go somewhere in between.
Yeah, you got to somewhere in the middle.
My grandmother didn't have air conditioner in her house in like the 90s in Alabama.
Oh my God.
We would go to visit her and you just have the windows open with an oscillating fan.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah. Didn't you say your dad had an outhouse?
Yeah, when he was growing up. Yeah.
I can remember outhouse at my church when I was a kid.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
So if you had to use the restroom during service, it was outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good way to encourage people to not go to the bathroom during the service.
Yeah, I didn't go very often.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the 80s.
I'd actually be a fan if you could have a really nice outhouse. It maybe should be separated from the house a bit. Like a little air-conditioned shed out there.
I mean, just your neighbors walking you walk out to the middle of your yard with a newspaper. And the whole neighborhood is like, oh boy.
Get the kids. Get the kids.
Here he goes. He's about to hear some screaming going on. It's a little earlier than usual. He must have got into something.
Going out with a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I want it separated. I mean, yeah, your family might want it separated, but I mean, you don't need to put that on everybody. These people in the neighborhood just see you. You got your open bathrobe, newspaper.
Horse with no name.
Yeah.
Every morning.
Yeah. You hear that playing as you're walking out.
As you're walking down there. Bill, how you doing? He's walking to his. I mean, I think people are too comfortable in a bathroom.
I do think.
I don't like it.
What do you mean? That should be the place where you're the most comfortable, though, right? I mean,
no, I'm the least comfortable.
Oh, you're talking about a public bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They meant like your own bathroom.
No, a public bathroom. I feel like people are too comfortable.
Yeah.
In it, and it's like.
Well, what do you see them doing in there?
I mean, just acting like they're at their house or like that no one exists, and you're, because especially with men, because men have got this like kind of like this is what we're doing. We're not. Who cares what we are?
Right.
And you just have that like let's just be normal for 2 seconds. Just. Everybody kind of keep to yourself. Don't be a problem, or don't be like
I read a list of public bathroom etiquette, and most of them was just don't talk to anybody, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Not at the sink, whatever. Just get out before you talk.
In and out.
In and out. Yeah. Even if you know them, just don't talk to them while you're in there.
Yeah.
Now, which stall and which urinal do you think would be the cleanest?
The middle one.
I tell you, I think it'd be the one closest to the entrance and the exit, because I bet that I think I've looked into this at one point. When you want privacy, you're going to go as far away from the door as possible. So I imagine that's going to be the dirtiest one, and it's going to get cleaner the closer you get to the entrance.
Yeah, I could see that closest, and that one's going to get cleaned the most.
Yeah, it's the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, I would think the middle one, especially if there's 3, I guess if there's 3 urinals, like you don't want to walk up to the middle one.
No.
So I would think that one would be the one that would get used the least.
Oh, you're going to and what's funny is like everybody listen to this because you're going to mess me up too now. Now I'm going to, because I would go farthest away because I'm just trying to be in a corner.
For
alone.
A urinal or
everything. You talking about a urinal?
Both.
Both. Yeah, anything and everything you're trying to just be, because I mean when you're up there in the front, it's you're in the
high traffic zone.
Yeah, you're in the mix of
it.
Yeah.
But you're gonna, for someone like me now, you're gonna go to a public bathroom. Like I'm gonna end up being at the front of the urinal, and I think a lot of people listening will end up. You just got in our head enough just saying that you're gonna
be at the first one.
You can see a lot of like, "Hello, folks," at the first urinal.
Yeah,
you get it. Yeah.
But I'm not really.
And then the guy goes, "You're not supposed to talk in here."
You're not concerned about the cleanliness of a urinal, though, necessarily. You're not touching the urinal.
Well, you will notice the cleanliness of like the ground in front of the urinal, that kind of stuff. I mean, I've seen some nightmares, man.
Yeah,
I've seen some bad bathrooms.
Would you say that was an unsafe urinal?
I felt unsafe at the urinal before, for sure.
What about bars? I used to go to bars where they would just have troughs. I was like, I hate the trough.
Yeah,
I think that's still in Europe. I think they have a lot of them like that.
I couldn't do it.
I hate the trough.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. You
I think Vanderbilt.
But maybe these people don't have bathrooms for World Toilet Day because there's people, we haven't even moved from troughs.
Yeah.
So now that I think about it, I might be like, you know what? Maybe I'll give them money because I don't know. Like that does make sense. Because it's not like, every, like a house has Totos or whatever those fancy bath toilets are or whatever. It's like the ones that lift up. I think it's called a Toto.
I don't know that.
It's it's like a bidet, and it's got like all kinds of
Toto toilets.
Yeah. And it's like it's automatic. Like you walk to the door and it's like automatic.
Oh, they open up for you?
Yeah, I mean some of them, like that one says it's got a tornado flush. I mean, what? That's what. What kind of flush you got? I got tornado flush.
High power.
Yeah, you
I'm
got.
gonna bookmark this real quick.
Yeah,
that's an unsafe toilet.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It's like that.
It's like F4.
That one on the left. That one on the left. It's with tornado flush.
An elongated bidet.
Yeah.
Dual flush with tornado flush. Seat included. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, for
But
$1,000.
it'll be like the thing will be heated. It'll be when you walk up to it, it would just wait.
Have you ever wanted heated?
Have you ever sat on one of those? I've been in a hotel. I've been in a hotel that had them. It's not bad.
A heated seat though?
It's nice.
I like a heated if I know it's not heated by the person that was just in there before me.
Well, what do you think is in there? They got just a guy. That's part of Toto's plan.
Yeah, it comes with a guy.
You gotta wipe when you walk in your own bathroom at home. You gotta go, and then he gets up and goes, "Ready to go, chief."
His legs are asleep all the time.
I used to walk around. It's a guy warming it up in your own home. That's how much money you got. You go. That was probably the rich, maybe the kings and queens of old times.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I wanted. They go. So I pay a guy to sit on the seat.
They call him a Toto.
The John.
Yeah, he sits on the John to warm it up. And
maybe it comes from Thomas.
Go,
Thomas Crapper. Toto. Yeah. Tom.
Tornado. I need that tornado flush, man.
Yeah.
That's like you go, what's going on? You go, you know what's going on. There's no, I mean, I bet the guy that walks in for a tornado flush, I bet they go, let's just show him the tornado flush. Like, let's not even, I bet people that sell toilets, I honestly think that they could see someone walk up and they go, I'm not even going to introduce the like economical flush to this guy.
No.
This is like, hey, I mean business.
It's like Kramer at the low flow shower.
Yeah.
The one for the circus elephants.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes, you can't handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's people that are like, I want it, It's just so funny.
Is there an example of it flushing?
I want it to sound like a train.
Tornado flush? I don't know if we need to see an example. I mean, I think anything and everything. It's just a giant
power gets knocked out.
You see the lights flicker in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Aaron comes out, shakes his shoulders off of his. It's in the middle of the yard. It's a good day. We're having a good day to vote by stretching out there in your yard. That you go, yeah. That's why I got it away from the family. They don't need to see. I got 2 kids up there running around. They don't need to be part of what's going on down here.
Well, you mentioned bidets. They're finally starting to take off in America, apparently. 6% of people already have bidets in their bathroom.
What percentage?
6%.
Oh, okay.
I don't know anyone.
About what I thought.
Do you know someone who's had one?
People talk about them a lot, and people are very
I think
arrogant about them.
Yeah, but they talk about that thing because it's got honestly where I heard it. I remember like a long time ago, I think hearing Howard Stern talk about having one. And this was like forever ago. That's the only reason I ever even heard about it. And then you see, there could be some hotels that are nice that have them, but it's like I think when people it's heated. It like when you walk up to it. I mean, both might raise up.
Oh.
You can wave it. You're not touching really. It's like that's the whole. Yeah.
It's a good Christmas gift. $1,000?
$1,000.
Tornado flush.
Tornado, you go. Oh, I appreciate it, man. But he goes, I didn't do the tornado flush. It's just so expensive. You go, yeah, of course. And then you're like,
that's all I wanted.
Yeah. You're like, all right, I guess I'll put it in my guest bathroom. We're never going to use it because I need that power.
Is there more power than a tornado flush? They have like a hurricane flush.
Oh man, tornado is actually more powerful than a hurricane.
Is it?
Faster speeds.
Well, New York's. I mean, because we had like in our apartment in New York, the bathroom was like one you'd see at a public, park.
Yeah.
Like it has that metal,
little
metal pole
okay. Yeah.
that you kick with your foot.
Yeah,
that was our like normal bathroom.
Oh man.
But those flush are unreal.
Yeah.
And so you
tankless.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
yours didn't have the thing on the back, did it?
Yeah, that's tankless.
No. Yeah, it was tankless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
You just noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not that bad.
That's the first thing I noticed when you come to your house. I'm like, there's nothing back here.
Yeah. Yeah. I never thought about that.
That seems most efficient.
Yeah. You hear some flushes, you hear it 4 blocks over.
Yeah.
Well, people are switching to bidets because they say it's more hygienic and it cuts down on toilet paper cost and just helps the environment.
Toilet paper also, I've heard has bad chemicals in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that part of your body is very absorbent. So you take in these bad chemicals.
What kind of bad chemicals?
I don't know. Just dyes and bleaches.
Well, dyes. It's just white, right? Do they dye it white? Toilet paper's dyed white?
There's other it's bleached.
Oh.
Can you get a different color toilet paper?
Well, you can buy bamboo toilet paper, and it's not supposed to have that in there.
Bamboo toilet paper.
What color is it?
It's still white, but it's
bambooish white.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little off-white.
Yeah.
Maybe 100% renewable and sustainable bamboo.
I've been buying bamboo toilet paper.
Biodegradable and plays well with most septic tanks. It's a weird way of phrasing that.
Yeah. You got a 50-50 shot. So,
yeah.
I'm saying if it plays well with septic tanks,
mm-hmm.
like it's like being like,
yeah,
it works, it not really. Works.
Yeah, it plays well with it.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of this, Dusty.
Do you do this, Dusty?
Yeah. Not this brand, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got into it because I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to not take in a lot of chemicals. I don't know what's going on out here, but I'm trying to be chemical free out here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It says, how does it feel? And it says, it feels much better on your conscience. So that tells me it doesn't feel
It's not
great.
as soft.
It's tough.
Okay.
It's not as soft.
Yeah, it's tough.
Splinters?
Not that hard. I mean, it's better than cheap toilet paper, but it's, it's not like Charmin.
It's like the back of a loofah. Like it's not the bottom, like one that goes on your hand. You're like, it's not the bottom. It feels like the back where you can still tell that it's a loofah. And you're like, well, that's not that comfortable. You go, yeah, but it's better than the other side. That's what their whole message is it that bad? You go, we're definitely happy we were not some other things. And you're like, okay.
It's like healthy food where you're like, you're eating and you're like, I wish it tastes as good as unhealthy food.
Yeah.
But it's better for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing where you're like, I wish this were chocolate, but.
Well, I can't think of a good segue, but Nate, you want to tell us about Aura?
Aura, we have one right here. Can you hold it up? It's the perfect gift. It can be really hard sometimes. This is why Aura frames. This is a great gift for a lot of families and holidays coming up.
Very
Christmas
clear
being
picture.
Here. So yeah, it's a great, it just rotates. Laura's got I think 2 pictures in here. So we haven't loaded it up, but it's, you know what's funny is I saw this today, downstairs, and I didn't even think I didn't realize that this is what this was. And I was looking at it and I really did think, you know what, even what if you had it's so funny that in my head, I was like, what if you got a bigger frame too? And you had it just alternating pictures.
Yeah.
Because it's it is nice to see pictures. And that's why this frame is good. I mean, I'm not saying if you need this size is perfect, but uploading the photos and they're changing, that does make your family photos very, very fun.
This is really easy too, because you just do it on an app. You don't have to load it in the frame itself. It's just on an app.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. That's super. Yeah. This is one of those things that I think someone gives you and you're like, I'm never going to use it. But then if you got into how easy it was, you would be like, oh, I would use this. I would use it actually all the time.
Well, what's great about it, we gave one of these to my mom, and we can upload it from our home photos of our granddaughter, so she doesn't have to do anything.
Oh, that's awesome.
Looking at it, there's new photos
that's crazy.
I never thought about that, but that is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great grandparent gift. And you just go work and you could update it like you're updating Facebook. Yeah.
And my wife likes to put up frames around pictures around the house to whoever is visiting. So it kind of looks like we always have those up, but it's like, and this makes it super easy.
It's like what OJ did during the trial, right? He changed all the pictures in his house.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
that. To make the jury like him a little more.
Oh, and you can do
OJ
can,
could have used one of these.
Yeah, it's got a thing on the top that you
I didn't even know about
swipe.
that.
Yeah. So like you could keep going. We just have 2 pictures up a little bit. All right. Make holiday shopping better. From now through Black Friday and Cyber Monday, visit Aura Frames, AURA frames.com and get $40 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with the code NATE. This is their best deal of the year, so get yours now. That's Aura, AURA frames.com with the promo code NATE. Terms and conditions apply. All right.
The Hermitage Hotel men's bathroom was named the best restroom in America in 2009.
Wow.
By whom? Just like a guy?
Some I don't know, some more to say. And then the Nashville Zoo men and women's bathroom were named best bathroom in America.
Those are.
Wow.
They're actually great.
What's special about them? Just cleanliness?
They have
space?
No, the ones outside the thing, they have a snake.
In the men's.
In the men's, they have a snake.
But
I don't know
that
if they have
snake
the
loves
women's.
it.
But they have like
Bowling python.
Yeah. So you go to the urinal and then you're just looking at a snake.
And the snake smells with its tongue, so you know it loves it.
Yeah.
And then the womenins,
I see his tongue go. He sees the guy go in the stall. You see him. He sucks his tongue up. Waits till he goes.
And then the women's, it's a 6 cotton top tamarins, whatever that is. Critically endangered primate species.
Yeah, it's really, really, it's an awesome. It is an awesome. First time I go in there too, you send someone in there. You live in Nashville, you go to the Nashville Zoo. Nashville Zoo is a great zoo, and it's right before you. This bathroom specifically is right before you go through the entrance. So it's by the gift shop, and like when you would leave the gift shop, it's right there. But if you can tell someone to go in there, just follow them into the urinal. And then just kind of keep them talking, and then just like don't really say anything. Because first time I went in there, or you could just let them go in there and see what happens. First time I went in there, I was like, oh, like you just don't. I don't know that that's going to be there. So you just get, you just kind of you're looking down in the bathroom. You go to the urinal, and then you just kind of look up, and there's just a snake right there, and you're like, oh. Gosh, when you don't know it. It's very fun when you don't know.
Especially at the zoo, you think maybe it got out.
I don't think you want this. You don't want to be listed on this thing. I'd imagine.
What do you mean?
Why? Best bathroom?
Yeah, like I think it's like, I don't know. You want a lot of people reading about where the best bathroom is? Like as an article?
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I don't know, man.
Like it's good in 2019. LaGuardia Airport was nominated for best restroom in America. That's good to know.
I know that's what I mean. It's a slippery slope of like it's good to know. To then you're not, then you fall off.
I get it. You almost don't want to tell people.
How many of these people have been on multiple lists? Like are they doing it back to back to back to back? Well, I think you're just going and you get pounded, and you're like.
Off 65 though, I think it's 65. There's a place that advertises best restroom on the interstate.
Yeah,
so Buc-ee's does that too. Yeah,
So those are gas stations. Get you in here and then get you to buy.
What'd you say?
That's what Buc-ee's does.
Oh yeah, Buc-ee's is known for.
Yeah, but that's the point of them is you're advertising that to the driver. A lot of these airports, I can see it.
Are you saying Buc-ee's and the New Museum of Contemporary Art in New York City have different business goals?
Yes. So I would think if you're the New Museum of Contemporary Art, which I guess you got to buy a ticket to get into that bathroom.
Right.
So maybe they're like, that's enough to fend you off. But if any of this stuff is free to get into.
Maybe the Natick Mall.
Yeah, like the Nashville Zoo.
Yeah.
You got to buy a ticket to get in there.
Not to use that bathroom.
Well, I know.
Yeah, but I think they do charge. You do have to pay your show something to pay to park or something. Or
yeah, they charge you to park.
Yeah.
75% people admit using their phones in the bathroom. I think that's low.
That's so the other 25% are in their 80s and 90s, I guess.
I thought you said met using their phones. Admit to using their
You
phones.
they met.
I was like, what?
Well, then you just say, well, that's why I think they say admit because they go, it's 100%. But
would somebody be
25%
ashamed of doing that?
I think
and not
so.
admit to it?
Yeah, I mean, you got to, when people are getting asked these questions, they're just coming out of a store. They're probably coming out of a stall and someone's like, you use your phone in the bathroom. That's how I picture these questions being asked.
But you know what they say is
Aggressive.
polite? If you're at dinner at a restaurant and you use the bathroom, it's polite to leave your phone at the table.
Oh, yeah.
And so I try to do that. But now I notice everybody takes their phone with them.
You're going to mess me up. Like you get these are things that I can't get, but I think I might be able to get it out of my head to go live my life.
Yeah, get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to,
The idea of being polite about everything is over, I think.
Is it already sitting there? Or you
Let's
take it
say
out of your pocket and put it on the table?
Let's say like it's on the, because most people, when they're at a restaurant, the phone's just on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that. Most people just sit on the table next to them.
Mm-hmm.
And you see they get up and they use the bathroom, they grab their phone and put it in their pocket and take it with them.
Yeah, because you want to get caught up with your real friends.
That's what it is. Yeah. Got to check in on what I care about.
Yeah.
Well, but if you're going I think if you come right back, I don't think no one ever thinks about it. I mean, I think if you're gone for a half hour, if you're gone for a good 25, 30 minutes, like appetizers, they're cleaning the appetizers off the plate. I think that probably put a little people at worry.
Yeah.
So I think if you're just going and then coming right back, like you're probably just grabbing your phone because you're like, I don't want someone to steal my phone or I don't want, whatever reason.
But even that's a knock on who you're with. You're eating with other people.
No, yeah, I know.
I
But
don't want y'all to take my phone while I'm gone.
Well, are they going to watch your phone? I mean,
it's not too much of an ask if you're at a table this big and you're just sitting there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're at this, if it's me and you and we're sitting there, but I mean, someone's probably not using your phone. But if you're at a big group table at a restaurant where it's a little dark and you got your phone sitting there, someone could be like, "Where's my phone?" You're like, "I don't know, dude." And
right,
I didn't realize someone, and they just went and grabbed a $2,000 thing from someone. So you could be, I'll just keep it on me.
Yeah, it's too
But
valuable.
some of it, you probably when you walk, they're so valuable. I mean, they're so expensive.
Yeah.
And so now when you come back, I think you do get it to check your. It's probably polite to leave the table. You check, you got any text that you need to send or whatever. Then you go pee. You just don't be gone long. But I think if you're gone where it's like.
Well, see, that's when I got to do that. I come back and say, "Sorry, guys, I was on my phone the whole time." That's what I want them to think, that I was on my phone. I wouldn't do anything in there, just on my phone. My bad.
Just standing at the urinal.
Had business deals going on.
Yeah.
I go, you should just walk back and go, it's noon in Sydney. And then that would be good.
Markets are open.
Yeah.
Busiest day of the year for plumbers. I mentioned this before, day after Thanksgiving.
Wow. That's the grossest statistic ever.
I know. I just see the plumber industry just like, ugh, they're stretching. They're like, he goes, what do y'all do for Thanksgiving? He goes, I'm turning my phone off on Friday. We're going to be.
They call it Brown Friday.
Yeah.
Oh,
do they?
Gross.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
But the number one reason is not even that. It's like food and chicken grease or turkey grease has been clogged down the garbage disposal. That's the number one reason plumbers are calling.
That's what I would tell the plumber on the phone.
I poured chicken grease down the toilet.
Show up and hey, while you're here.
I would tell him that too.
Toilet's clogged.
You go, yeah, it's like the sink. I might have you look at one more thing.
While I got you, dude.
Only 80% of people wash their hands after using the toilet.
I get that.
That seems high, right?
Yeah.
30% say only 30% use soap, and only 5% wash for the recommended 15 seconds.
I think everybody would do hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
If you just said, have hand sanitizer in there, everybody at public, like it's just like when a sink, it's like it's there, you wait in line to do. It's like a whole thing. If you have those hand sanitizers, everybody, that's the easiest thing you could ever do in your world. And I use hand sanitizer all the time, like out in when you're out. It's so much easier.
But I don't know, is it meant to do the same thing washing your hands does? I don't think they're meant to substitute for each other.
I think they are. It kills 99% of the germs. What else? If it's not, then it's been a lie. What's it supposed to do? Just knock it back a little bit?
Just rub it on your pants.
Yes. What's the point of it? Just
kill the smell.
Yeah.
But it feels like you're just rubbing things in,
it's
right?
It's equivalent of lighting a candle. Where you're like, no, you can still sell something went on. You lit a match. You go, well, something happened. I'm smelling a match. I've never smelled. I don't smell a match anywhere in my life except right here. And then, so what happened in here? Nothing. I accidentally started a fire, a match.
Yeah.
I blew it out.
All
right.
If anything, I put out a fire.
Yeah. I mean, I remember growing up, I remember seeing that a lot, matchboxes in the bathroom. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just a ton of those you would see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Match still in the toilet. I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
Dusty, do you get a Farmer's Almanac?
Yeah, I do have. Well, I don't get it every time. I do have one right now.
Does it have a little hole in it in the top left corner?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Supposedly that's famous because people in outhouses would hang it up for reading purposes or use it for toilet paper. And they started nailing it to the wall. So now the Farmer's Almanac just puts the hole in it so you don't have to nail it.
Wow.
Whoa.
They still do it?
I mean, that's why I was asking Dusty because he's the only person I know to get a Farmer's Almanac.
I did get one, but I don't remember if it had a hole or not.
Mm-hmm.
I can report back to you, but the podcast
should have asked ahead of time.
Yeah.
Anybody have opinion on the correct way to hang toilet paper?
Yeah, over the front.
Yeah.
Where it comes down, not over the back. Yes. Yeah. I've never thought I would have an opinion about that, but it does bother me.
You know where I saw that to do it was that TV show Mama that had that Mama's
Family?
Yeah. She had
with
the
Vicki
hair.
Lawrence?
Yeah. I remember watching that episode as a kid, and she went on a rant about it, and she said you're supposed to have the toilet paper hanging over the top, and that has stuck with me. I think about that scene to this day.
Come in the front so you can just kind of, it's so much better that way.
I mean, it's just 75%.
Yeah, I don't think it's even going to be a thing. I mean, it was just a line.
Just like a kind of throwaway.
Yeah, do you know Mama's Family?
Never heard of it.
Type in Mama's Family.
I used to watch that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
TV show?
Yeah.
Big for me as a kid.
Mama's Family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vicki Lawrence as Mama.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they used to talk about her all the time. Oh, they dressed her up to look older.
Spinoff from the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Renard got his "What the" from that show.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man.
What the?
Renard's kind of catch for it. Renard Hirsch's catch is "What the."
Yeah.
He says that. And he said he got it from an episode of Mama's Family.
That would not have been the show, I guess.
It says 75% for like over. To me, that seems low. I don't know anybody that likes it under. But Ann Landers, who's a Vice columnist, said do it under, and she got more letters about it than any advice column she ever wrote. 15,000 letters.
I don't think people like it under. I think the 25% don't even think about it.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably how you should live.
Here's the under position argument.
They probably enjoy that. Yeah.
They're probably happier.
They enjoy their life more.
Yeah.
The under position argument is it's more tidy. Looks better than the over that way. Reduce the risk of a toddler or a pet, like a cat, unrolling the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great argument.
It's a better point than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe just don't let animals inside though.
That's a good. Well, he said.
Well,
kids
I don't really think it's the animals. I think it's. I don't think of animals doing it. I think kids doing it. But if you have
I
young,
would think a cat can get up there and.
Okay, I could see a cat, but then, I mean, a kid though. You can see that's actually, because
the cat we just got, it just loves the toilet. It just jumps in the toilet if you leave the bathroom open.
It sits in. It gets
just
wet.
Jumps in there. Yeah, it loves water.
Which one?
The one that Abigail found for us. Yeah, it loves water. It'll jump in the shower with you if you leave the bathroom door open. It'll jump in the toilet.
I thought they didn't like to get wet.
That's what's so odd about it. This thing loves water. If you leave the sink dripping, it'll jump in the sink and just stand under it. And we're giving it water to drink. It's not dehydrated. We're giving it.
You're drinking all the water.
It's got all the water at once in a bowl right there on the ground, but it'll just jump in the toilet.
It doesn't lay in the bowl of water?
No, it doesn't care about the bowl of water at all. It just wants the toilet water.
What do you give a cat? Bowl? Do you give them milk?
Bowl. No, not milk, just water.
Yeah, I've always been confused. But if someone gave me a cat today, and we didn't have this conversation.
Mm-hmm. You might have given them milk.
I would have probably looked up what to give.
If you gave it milk, it'd probably be a good day for that cat. I bet they like it, but day to day, give it some water. You know.
Do you ever give it milk?
Do you have two bowls, or do they share a bowl?
They share a bowl of water.
Mm-hmm.
Put food in different bowls for them. But it's a mess at this point. They're eating each other's food. It's a real situation.
Yeah,
it's tough to talk about. That's why you build that outhouse out in the yard.
Yeah. Keep the cat out.
So you can have some peace.
Peace and quiet. I can't handle all the ruckus. Dude. Got two cats.
Sad day if you going out to your yard, you seeing that cat in there, and you're like, oh, I can't go anywhere. Lucy! All right, is that good?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Bathroom, we did some work. We had to work at it. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, fun. I mean, it did end up being, I should have known 100% toilet pretty much, but that's the fun stuff.
That's head news. Yeah. That's headline news right there.
Yeah.
All right. Thanksgiving's this week. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and hanging out with all your family. That's the best thing you can do. I'm going to Evans after that, Atlanta, finishing the year out somewhere, and then whatever, and then did everybody call it did I explain the breaks when I said I was taking a break?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was very happy about it. They're very excited that you're taking some time off.
Oh, okay, good.
No,
I'm joking.
Oh,
I was trying to imply that they want you to stop.
People get it.
Well, and I said that, I think they got worried, but it wasn't. It was literally I just got to build some material. I'm trying to take the. Yeah, I bet I could. I don't know. I want to see. It's all getting. You guys are coming to so many shows. It's getting crazy. It's but I just need to be able to create the material. Is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to fight with your wife when you're on the road.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm home this weekend.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, spend time with my family.
I'm on the road. I care about my craft and stuff. So I'm kidding. This weekend, I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin at Skyline Comedy Club.
All right.
Friday and Saturday.
Great club.
I'm going to New York City for Thanksgiving, and then I'm flying out day after to Appleton.
That's fun.
So if you're in the Wisconsin area, come see me. And then I got a big run next week, a bunch of different places. So come see me.
Yeah, well, I'm off this weekend too, but next weekend, CB Live in Arizona, and what is that?
It's Phoenix, right?
It's Phoenix, but it's Scottsdale. Yeah, great place.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Tempe at the Tempe Improv.
Mm-hmm.
So get some tickets. Yeah. It'll be great.
All right.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. I hope you have a great week, and see you next week. Bye. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.